Mug through Dusty. All I need is a priest and a rogue to keep the priest away from things.
So it's your job to keep Zerth away from his own children.
But Zerth's not a priest, he's a cleric. There's a difference. Clerics smash things.
Well, also, he's
Don't clerics like write stuff down?
Yeah, technically.
well, also you have a rogue instead of a cleric.
So Zerth, how do you feel about doing all of the estate's clerical books now?
You'd be surprised how used Zerth is to that. Have you seen the Fury's followers? There is no organization in that system at all. None.
Can I just say once again, Dover, you completely threw me for a loop last week. Like, holy shit.
That was the plan.
Well, right now, I mean, it worked out that okay, I have to ask this question. Did you adjust the health to make sure that Rosalin was the one that got the last hit?
No.
So what would have happened if somebody else
once.
did?
I touched it once. I don't remember when I touched it, but I did not adjust it to make sure that somebody got the final hit. Which, by the way, somebody left it at 1 HP fucking again.
I mean, I wonder what would have happened if Dusty killed it. Would he get that fragment, or would it have been sealed?
That's a great question.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Until we find
We
the
may
next
never
one.
know.
I'll be right back. My sister's dog locked her out.
Oh,
Well, that's a new excuse I've never heard before.
It's usually the dog ate my homework, not the dog locked my sister out.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard the my cat is on fire multiple times, but never that one.
No.
My cat is on fire? Pardon?
Did you ever see the YouTube video of the cat's tail catch on fire and it's just
Oh.
nonchalant?
Yes, I have actually. Fair enough.
It's almost
like,
a meme that's the default excuse when you don't care whether they believe you, but you're just running off.
The funny thing about that video is the cat looks offended
That it was briefly on fire.
that the fire dare touch it.
You see, Zerth, there is a very simple answer and explanation for that entire statement there.
Cats
It's
are
a
liquid.
cat.
Being a cat owner, I can accept that answer. My cat literally came in and meowed at me for 10 minutes straight to tell me that my wife locked her out of the bedroom. And then when I acknowledged it, she meowed like, okay, I passed the message off to you, and then walked away, and I haven't seen her for about 2 hours. She gives me updates whenever I'm home, all the time.
It's the daily meow.
Oh, she tells us when she goes to the bathroom. It's the funniest thing.
Is that right?
Cat
Yeah.
just comes out of the bathroom with a toilet roll attached to one paw.
Well, so our house is weird. I don't know who built this house, but in the kitchen, next to the oven, we have a bathroom.
I mean, I also have a bathroom in my kitchen, but it's not next to the oven. It's next to
It's
the back
next
door.
to the oven, and then it's just a toilet and a sink, and then there's the door to the basement. And the door to it, we had to take off because you couldn't get into the bathroom because there was only a half an inch space into it. It's like the weirdest layout ever.
Alright, I'm back.
at the bottom of the steps we have the cat's litter box. So she'll run down, do her business, come up, and go, meow, like I have done the deed. You're welcome, humans. I will go sleep now. Meow. And I can't make this up. I am not that smart.
So, we have this sliding glass door, and the way to lock it is like this little up and down switch, right? Like you just flip the... Not really a switch, more like a lever, I guess. Up is unlocked, down is locked. So my sister's dog likes to jump on the window, on the door, and sometimes when he comes back down, his paw will catch on the latch and lock it.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant when I said my sister's dog locked her out. Hey Dova,
Yes.
so telekinesis has a 1,000-pound limit.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that you can control several small things as well as one big thing, right?
Okay.
No, I'm just that's it. I'm saying that makes sense, right?
Yeah. I'd say because it's multitasking, you can control at the same time. At least out of combat wise. In combat wise, you stick to the spell sheet.
Yeah, it makes
Stick
sense.
to the description. But out of combat, I'd say your intelligence modifier.
That makes
Since
sense.
it's dealing with multitasking.
That makes sense.
Heck.
Hey, Zim.
Hey, people. Seth.
Zim.
I saw 2 years.
Yeah. I can't believe I put up with you for 2 years. No, I'm kidding.
You know, some of the others in this group would probably have even longer times if any of them subscribed.
Yeah,
Hey,
but my
hey,
friend-
I've been here for a while.
I'm the second oldest, or I've been going with this group for the second longest. And Yerk's got me by a little bit. That's about it.
I
Just a little
can't
bit, though.
Just a little
can't-
bit.
I can't remember when I joined. It was early.
I remember that
God.
it started with me meeting Cobalt, and then Cobalt pulled me into the game with Dova, and then I was
And we
like,
had-
"Hey guys, how about we stream?"
Oh,
And-
wasn't it? It was with Orca, Griffin, and Griffin's SO. I can't
Yeah.
remember their name.
But they all basically
and-
dropped
and-
out.
And my ex-boyfriend.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Griffin got really upset because we moved to your Discord server when Griffin was like, "But I made this Discord server for us like a few weeks ago," and it's just like Zim had this whole gaming thing already made, and we're gonna stream it. So like, yeah, we're probably gonna use that one.
Mm.
So I bought two
Zim's-
things. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Zim and I met through Rye, and Rye wanted to pull me into the Bundy game, and then he pulled me into a channel with Zim, and I got this whole spiel about like how to act in the stream and stuff like that. And it went from there.
I'm the youngest member of this group,
Hey!
aren't I?
Yeah.
The Boosted stream is up.
The what?
Guys,
The
go.
what?
Okay, so basically, every now and then, Twitch is having a community challenge where you guys use your kobold marks to contribute to the challenge. And if we meet the amount required, like every person can only
Oh, I see it.
contribute 2,000 marks to it. But if we complete it, then Twitch is gonna make sure that the stream gets put in front of 2,800 people.
Oh, neat.
Whether they
what
actually
do-
come is a whole other matter altogether, but you know, they're making sure that at least 2,800 eyes see it. Well, you know.
How
Double that,
often
but-
can you donate?
You can
How do
donate
you
once per
do
stream. Go to the Cobalt Marks, I believe. Yeah. Underneath the chat box.
Welcome home.
We do have a couple of days to complete it, but, you know, it would be cool to have it on this stream.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame I can't contribute any more, considering I have like 14k.
I know.
I think I have found my calling to use my Cobalt points. All like almost 50,000.
Yeah, same. I've got 30,000.
All right, everybody, that aside, hello and welcome to the stream. I am Brazim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see. We had several important people for the last time. So, I guess, anybody want to volunteer for it? For the recap?
Oh, I'll do it.
You were the
Finish what
one
you're eating
person
first.
that I... You're the one person I was like, he wasn't really that... It wasn't that major story-wise.
That's exactly why I should do it.
Yeah, he's the outlier here.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, guys. So last session, we woke up and fought this giant demon thing with a bunch of swords in his neck. I lit one of the swords on fire, but it didn't help too much because he just took it out. We killed him. Zerth had a heart attack. Rosalin became a god and saved his life. Dusty's missing, and I got a cool ring.
Yes, for Christmas.
And Sinel got a beetle for Christmas.
Didn't he get
Yes.
a cool cloak too?
Did he like stick the beetle on top of DeSota's head though?
I'd imagine not quite yet. Or he did. Sinel has no idea what it is, so. Or rather, Sinel does, but DeSota does not.
Alright, cool, that's the recap.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but Sinel, I mean... DeSota is smart enough now that he can have it explained to him. With some
Sinnoh,
difficulty.
our maybe zombie NPC? we never figured out if he was dead or not. We never figured
Who, Sinel?
No, sorry, Inun.
Indian.
Ah. He's still kind of holed away in his tower inside the villa right now.
As all magic users tend to be at one point.
Correct.
Natural progression.
He's actually perfecting the recipe for grape drink, and we just don't know it.
He's making Fanta.
He must be stopped.
Fanta berry twist.
Correct.
That mad
hamster is
genius.
getting antsy.
I
Sun
approve.
We
kissed.
be adventurers, let us
Dear God, it's been
All
like 5
right.
seconds.
Who did it?
You know, Anir, I have been meaning to message you
stuff.
and be like, where the hell are you? It's great to see you again.
Hell yeah, what's up, bud?
Hi, Anir.
Oh, hey, we raised 12k already. That's
I
like
just need to get
almost
a little bit
half.
more.
I can accept that one. We'll rewind a little bit as you guys are starting to settle down. We're in game now. As you guys are settling down for the night, you hear the steady crunch of footsteps coming from the opposite direction that you were going. So coming from the direction that you are going, coming from the south, I believe. And soon, out of the darkness of the snow-covered trail, comes a single figure with a rather large pack on their back, with a kind of mounted on a long stick is a steadily glowing, sort of bluish, ever bright lantern. And I think some of you might recognize him, or at least someone who looks like him, as a faintly sort of faded blue tabaxi kind of starts to wander up, giving you all a look over, seeing that you're all quite well wounded and having a wonderful day. Just kind of says to you, "It's not often that you meet travelers on this road. Would you mind if I shared your company for the evening?"
Wait a sec, is this before or after Dusty left?
This is before.
Yeah,
Okay.
we went back in time for just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Zerth would nod. He's tired.
Cue Doctor Who theme.
All right,
As,
Dova.
Yeah?
Pick a number 1 through 6.
5.
All right. I've made a salmon casserole.
Ooh.
I offered some. Usually I prefer tuna for this dish, but we're near a river, not the ocean.
Very nice, very nice. You did manage to catch a river salmon on the boat at some point, I'd imagine. He sits down next to the little clearing that you've made. You cleverly using the telekinesis ring along with a bit of a rather large pine bough to kind of brush away the snow. As he's going to start unpacking his rather large, hard-framed backpack, removing some spikes and a little iron stakes as he sets up a nice little pyramid on top of the fire. And without much preamble, he gives you a little bit of small talk, but he's fairly quiet. Starts to boil some water and brew some tea. All right.
I'm going to compliment him on his tea making abilities.
He does seem like a natural, and for those of you who choose to have a small cup, the little cups he provides, a little metal, fairly thin sort of pewter cups. It's pretty good. It's faintly sweet, but the strong, sort of woody herbal taste is very welcome, especially in the cold. And as the evening goes on, as some of you retire to your tents, Dusty, during his watch, stands up and sort of quietly departs the camp, trudging off a little while before, with a quiet flap of his wings, heads airborne and heads off into the woods. Dusty.
Yep.
What you doing? You doing the thing?
I'm doing the thing.
You're doing the thing.
He's breaking the rules is what he's doing.
He is breaking the rules.
He's breaking an amount of rules.
So,
Okay, non-small number of rules.
as you find a small clearing, but mostly you pick it because of the nicely sized tree, mostly in the center. It's kind of lopsided, but one of the branches on it looks strong enough to support you.
He is going to sit on this with his back towards the tree, and then uncork Pudding, letting him fall to the ground.
Pudding slowly kind of squeezes out with a bunch of kind of slimy jello schlorps. And at the moment where he finally disconnects from the flask, there's a moment of silence as he hangs in the air for a moment before flopping down with a tremendous poof of snow and the sound of him jiggling quite vigorously.
Pudding, here's your order. Perhaps your last order. Don't let anyone approach me.
Can I speak for Pudding?
Pudding can't speak.
He is a jelly.
He doesn't. Very nice, very nice. I like that accent.
Thank you. I've been practicing, honestly. I want to get it just right.
Gotta get the right viscosity.
Mm.
But now on to
I'll
serious
like that.
things. He is going to lean against the tree and just stare skyward before speaking the name Zell. Hello, Zell. It's been a while since I really stopped to think about you, but I wanted to say sorry. I'm sorry I left you and didn't try harder to bring you the day Zerth came to the monastery. I think if I had brought you, I'd be a very different person. Perhaps for the better. But I'm also sorry that when I saw you again, I didn't greet you as a friend. I wanted to try to keep you as a stranger. And your final request, I said I wouldn't save you, but that was a lie. I wanted to. Perhaps that's why you didn't want to come back when they tried to revive you. I'm sorry again. And lastly, your final request. I didn't do it. I stayed my hand because I was asked. And now it's gone, I suppose. I don't think I can do anything about it anymore. Sorry. I guess if you are watching me, you must be pretty disappointed, along with anyone else, but just fuck them, I guess. No, I don't really feel like that. Sorry. I'm sorry that I bit you back then also. I wanted to become something else. It's so easy to think about being a monster, but sometimes your heart just doesn't follow through and doesn't stop feeling things. I wish it was so easy. Maybe you're listening. Maybe I'm still just hopeful, or maybe I'm finally starting to go crazy. People called me crazy a lot. I'm strange. I know I'm strange. It never bothered me before. Did you get the letter? I tossed it in the fire, but when that seemed to work for communicating with the Fury, I just sort of hoped it would reach you. Probably not. Not that it really matters anyway. You can't really talk to me either, can you? So, I guess the truth's not really important anymore. Not to anyone. I had so many thoughts in my head, but everyone's got someone else now. So, where do I fit in? I'm just someone who lost and don't have a place anymore. Not really. Well, I guess it's time to do what I promised to do in the letter, if you got it. If you're against it, then sorry, I'm going to disappoint you again. With my eyes, I looked away from you, so I will see no more. With my ears, I ignore you, so I shall hear no more. With my mouth, I lied to you, so I shall speak no more. Watch from wherever you are. See me, who you once considered a friend, become what I must. And Dusty is going to produce a dagger and bring it to his ears. And with a swift motion, remove them, one after the other.
Give me a Constitution saving throw on the tower.
Viewers, I think we need some influence, so he has some painter gear.
Your hands shake from the sudden piercing pain. But your body doesn't betray you. You can still do what you came to do.
Going to hold his tongue with his crystal arm and put the dagger to the root of his tongue and make an upwards motion to slice it out.
Give me another one. All right. The pain is unbearable. But your resolve is a little bit stronger.
He will drop the dagger and hold onto the tree with his best ability, bringing his crystal arm, after he drops the chunk that was once his tongue, to his right eye. Dig in.
All right. As blood pours from your face, you ready yourself for the second. As you don't hear, but you feel a shift in the air nearby. A faint sensation of you being watched.
With his one remaining eye, he will look in the direction as he tosses whatever it is that he gouged out. Perhaps just the eye, perhaps a bit more.
Right. You see, gliding through the undergrowth, entering this little clearing, not from the direction of the camp, but from the south. You see a figure in a dark, flowing robe. And despite everything sounding much different, with your ears actually being cut off, you hear them as fine as you normally would. As they say, there's no need for this. Give me an insight check with disadvantage. Ooh.
I'm
Dang,
good
you
at
need a
insight, but
You get a +9 in insight? Oof.
I do.
Yeah, it's a wisdom stat, and monks are wisdom oriented.
That's very true. It is Zell's voice. Looks to be about the same height. But you can't see any identifying features beneath the robe. As he says, I've heard, I've watched. I didn't come to forgive you, I'm sorry to say. But I have been claimed by one with truly wondrous power. The thing that you promised to do, I promise you, still can be done.
Speaking is difficult, so he's not going to respond. But think that this may not be his friend anymore. Zell has
Yep.
probably been lost.
You're pretty sure that that's him. At least with that insight check.
Hmm.
At least, I mean, if you're not sure exactly what ghosts go through. So, I mean, it could be him just completely changed. But you can very clearly tell that he's not quite touching the ground. His sort of cloaked form drifting closer into the clearing. And actually, very slightly, just sort of drifting upwards. Sort of towards the branch that you're perched on. Your claws digging into them for support.
He will ask slowly as fluid leaks from his mouth, "What do you want then?"
I want to offer you a deal. Complete the task that you promised to do. And in return, you'll gain your purpose again.
Never had one. Was just stupid child.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Never had one. Was just stupid child.
Rosalin, I'd say at about this time you would be awake, having noticed that Dusty was not at his post per se. You notice a few footsteps leading off into the snow before you see the telltale marks of his wings brushing against the snow as he took off. A little trail of a sort of snow in the ground as the remnant of the snow on his feet drop down. But after that, the trail disappears.
I'm gonna clutch Iron Fang in my left hand.
All right.
I'm going to reach for the magic that I felt when I bonded with it and extend my senses.
All right.
Using the tremor sense.
All right. What's the range on it?
60 feet, I believe.
Okay. I suppose you would really be able to feel anything. You would hear your party as they sort of gently breathe in and out in their tent. You could probably even feel the heartbeat of most of your party members, bar for one.
Is it because he's too far away, or
Two technically. One of which is Dusty because, as far as you can tell, he's no longer in the camp. And the other would be Zerth. But you have a decent idea of why that might be.
is it because Dusty's too far away, or because he's in a tree?
Could be
Smart.
both.
Could be
Because
both.
if he's close enough, you could probably feel pudding.
60 feet is also a very short distance when we're talking about like a large sort of forested area.
That's true.
Yeah, but it was like the first thing I had to try.
Mm.
I'm going
Dusty-
to
Oh, sorry.
uproot. I'm going to uproot Siddle's tent.
So you're
mean-
roughly awakened.
I don't think I've got a tent.
Your
Not
little
anymore.
yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, definitely not,
Not anymore, you
don't. What? Who? Huh?
Dusty
He
is
would
missing.
have.
I need your help.
What do you mean he's missing?
He's missing. He was supposed to be on second watch, and he's gone.
I see. Sinnoh will get up and look around. He'll get up quickly.
All right.
I'm assuming that Sinnoh has. So you said that Dusty flew?
Mm-hmm.
So Sinnoh would have no way of actually tracking him.
Yep. You'd have an idea of a direction, at least initially. But other than that, not much to go off of. Go ahead and give
And-
me a.
Psst, can't DeSoto help us this?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And we have
We have-
DeSoto.
Go ahead and
We
give
have
me a
plenty of,
survival check from DeSoto, or sorry, a perception check from DeSoto for smell.
One moment.
Yark, or sorry, Dusty.
Yes.
From the figure, you hear a little, almost impatient sigh. The voice changes to one that you've never heard before, as it says, a sort of gravelly, a woman's voice speaks forth, saying, "I don't suppose you bought that, did you? Fair enough. I'll get to the point. You are bound to die here if I do not help."
I think that would be okay.
Mm.
Want to use people like the Fury did, don't you?
Sorry, could you repeat that last bit?
You want to use people like the Fury did.
This might be the Fury.
Probably is. But he doesn't know. It's a voice he's not heard before.
in the
He's heard
very
Fury's voice.
dim light, you can see a brief outline of a face. A faintly gaunt woman's face. with a unmistakable scowl.
Not
I've had
kill
people disagree with
family.
What'd you say?
Family does not kill family.
That's not what I'm suggesting. You have the workings of a real... Not a servant, no. A real hunter in you. I'm offering really nothing. Rather, the only thing I want from you is to finish the task that you were tasked with. To seal away the Overlord, Rak Tuakesh. For as it slowly starts to circle around the tree, the robes billowing in a wind that doesn't really seem to be there. The seed which your family member has absorbed will over time corrupt her from the inside. It's something that I've seen many times. People corrupted by this power. Is it not your responsibility to seal it away? And now you have a chance to save someone you do so dearly love. Are you going to simply give up? Or are you going to accept a little bit of my assistance to do so?
Eyes. You can see I did give up. You tried to kill him. Give me more or leave.
You want a demonstration. You want proof, I can tell. You see a little shimmer in her form as a little bit of the shooting pains from your ears dissipate into a gentle sort of aching. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
While he's doing that, Dova,
Yeah?
I do have favored enemy humanoid, which does give me advantage on tracking all humanoids.
Give me one moment.
It also applies to DeSoto as well.
I need to check on something real quick.
I know it won't help with actually tracking him since, we don't exactly, it's hard to track a flying person, but still, something to note.
All right.
Also, I really gotta start remembering my favorite enemy stuff. There have been so many times where I could have had bonus to my damage, but forgot.
Yeah, especially considering humanoid is probably the most common creature type.
Oh yeah, I like that they made it just humanoid. It's like, that is 90% of what we fight.
Is that not enough for you then? To prove?
I know your power. I saw him grow cold. I want something else. I
I
want
thought
you to look at me and say sorry.
sorry for what?
I asked you once not to let them die before I could get my revenge. They were dead, save the one I did not want revenge on. And Zerth, you
Your
have
words are
been-
suddenly cut off as the pain returns tenfold. You make Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
As you fall out of the tree, unable to keep a grip on the branch below, as you tumble into the snow beneath. Pudding this whole time seems strangely confused, unable to discern exactly what's going on. He knows you're talking to someone, but he can't figure out exactly where they are.
Also, I noticed that +1 I'm supposed to be getting isn't applying, I think. No, wait, it is. It just doesn't look like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Normally my constitution would be a +4, I guess.
There you go. As you sort of pull your head up from the snow, the icy pain on your various wounds, sort of jolting you back awake. You see her kind of descending down from above, the robes kind of flaring out, as she rasps with almost physically painful sort of wrath. It was not my intent.
A gleam
Dusty
of
I will
robe.
offer you this one final chance. I know exactly where your friend went, and it's not a pleasant place to be. Serve me this one time, and I shall bring him back to you.
He lets out like a choking laugh and says, "How pathetic. But fine. I have been amused by your weakness to pursue me as I am now." Fine. Let us do that.
All right. You see their face twitch in what seems to be either annoyance or just pure rage. You see a brief shaft of just almost a dark tendril rapidly shoot out from somewhere near their chest. And you feel a distinct impact near your forehead. You let out a brief little squeak of surprise before everything goes dark. Everyone who's looking for him, i.e., I believe Sinel, Rosalin, DeSoda, Zerth, did you end up waking up?
Did somebody
sure-
wake Zerth up?
I'm sure everyone would wake everyone else up to find him.
Yeah.
We were
a tent
were
being
kind of
uprooted is
panicked.
not a. Yeah, a tent being uprooted is
It's
not,
not
a
a
small
subtle-
thing.
It's not a subtle action.
All right, so as the sort of hunting party is making their way through the woods in the vague direction that Dusty's like takeoff trail was.
That's the word. You say vague instead of vague.
Yeah, vague.
That's what it
We
was.
pointed it out
Yeah.
multiple times.
Right
Oh,
now,
oh,
It's
people
vague.
really.
Also,
Sorry.
I thought that was
Sorry.
Toshime,
Okay, anyways,
real quick,
Anyways.
Toshime, thank you so much for that donation. The donation goal is completed.
well, there we go.
Dova, can I get my stocking stuffed?
Later.
Okay, cool.
As you guys are making your way through the woods, the wind slowly starts to pick back up, as carried along the treetops, through the cold air, a blood-curdling, pain-filled, agony-fueled screech from somewhere about maybe a quarter of a mile away. As you guys rush there, the first one to be there would be Sinel and DeSoda, followed closely behind it by Rosalin, who I assume was probably just riding on DeSoda's back.
Sinel doesn't let me ride on DeSoda. I asked before.
Okay.
Hey,
I
maybe
don't
this
remember
time.
you asking.
I did. I said, "Can I ride DeSoda in a battle?" You were like, "No."
Either way.
Well, it's okay in this situation, at least.
Okay. So you guys would be the first to arrive, as you come up on a small clearing. A large sort of jiggling static electricity, pulsing with static electricity, is pudding with his little saddle intact. But writhing in the middle, faintly writhing in the middle of a large trampled section of snow. Blood spewing all over the place, in dark patches that just seem to be black in the darkness. Is Dusty. Just a few moments ago, having gone almost completely silent, faintly twitching and writhing on the ground. As Rosalin, you look over at him, and I assume you go over and see if he's all right.
Well, my first instinct would be to rush over and pick him up.
All right. Rushing over and reaching down and picking him up, you see his almost immediately blood pouring down his face, going over his lip and kind of trailing down his throat. Doesn't seem to be flowing very much right now, but it's very recent, still wet, and if the light were better, you'd see that it is just a crimson red, trailing down the front of his mouth and going down his neck and into his chest. There's also a similar amount of blood near his ears and kind of heading down the side of his head, as is sort of all around one of his eyes, both of which are currently just shut, evidently from the amount of pain that he's experiencing. Dusty, you are still unconscious.
Yep.
Would Sinel be coming up next?
Yep.
Question. Is
Yep.
Pudding still remembering his order, or did he forget?
It's been a while. Plus, he does recognize these people, so it's kind of swaying it in the favor of not remembering.
Thank
Also,
goodness for
I'm
that.
pretty sure Rosalin is giving off an aura of "Do not fuck with me" right now.
Like,
There's a lot of things
not-
stacked against keeping those orders.
There's a
do
lot.
not
There's
dare.
I can't put a lot of confidence in the long-term memory of a gelatinous cube.
Yeah, that too.
A gelatinous
I'm go-
cube with an intelligence modifier, though.
Mhm.
I'm going to grab a clean scrap of cloth, if I can, and I'm gonna start wiping his face, trying to get
Alright.
some of this blood away.
Sinel is running up and casting Cure Wounds on Dusty.
Okay. Seems that Dusty's writhing slows down a bit as he finally starts to breathe again. His voice faintly sort of raspy as he lets out a few almost instinctual whimpers. But he seems alive. As you start to wipe down his face, and now being kind of close, you'd recognize that from about the base of his ear all the way to the tip is different. Beneath the very short, sort of fuzzy hairs, the flesh is subtly twisted. It's almost like just a large mass of scar tissue. Additionally, his eyes would be closed, so you wouldn't notice that. But you notice a few small scars and cuts around his right eye. Not on the eye itself, as his eye is just shut tight. Still quite a bit of pain coursing through his body.
I'm going to attempt to pry open his right eye between my thumb and my forefinger.
All right.
Just like pulling on the skin. Well,
The
you know
lids.
the way.
The lids.
Yeah.
You get it open just far enough to notice that the inside is very, very dark. Doesn't seem to have that sort of what's that, a cornea? No. What's the white part on the outside of the eye?
Sclera.
Sclera? It appears to be blood red. Dusty. With about that much sort of healing and just sort of basically healing magic being put into you. At this point, the pain would subside enough for your brain to sort of restart and start to be able to think again. As before, it was just overpowering basically any forms of reasonable thought.
Booting Dusty.exe, please insert Dragon Shard.
The first thing he is probably going to do is start to cough, because if there's blood in his mouth, it's probably in his throat also.
Mm-hmm. As quite a bit of rather congealed blood sort of jets out. Dusty,
Yes.
you notice that you have a tongue again, but it's not quite right.
I noticed that I have all those things I tore off.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me again, out of character, did he or did he not accept the Fury's help?
At the very end, but he was very rude about it.
Ah, okay. Just curious.
You idiot! What have you been doing? Zerth, get me some water. Because I assume the rest are now trailing in.
Zerth like real slow, but he'll see it and just full full fucking protective gator mode. I actually have an item for water too, so that's highly convenient.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Zerth, which of your eyes is got torn out and replaced?
I believe it. Yep, his right eye.
Hmm.
I got a little mad.
He comes over and has a doucher of endless water.
My hamster is getting antsy.
A
If we be
decanter?
adventurers,
Yeah.
let us adventure.
That's how I imagine Zerth would say it, though. He's like, "Oh, let me get my doucher of endless water." And Yark just kind of looks up at him. And, wait, doucher?
Yeah. No time for semantics. The doucher of water of endlessness. He'll
No time for semantics.
Can I roll?
And Nier did a moderate ethereal influence, by the way, Nova.
I did see that.
Can I roll a general medicine check since he'll see the differences?
Sure. Go right ahead. As you're starting to pour out water, into what I assume to be like a travel mug or like a small little pocket mess kit.
Yark has many available, yes.
Mm-hmm. You notice quite a few little sort of shimmering purple specks interspersed among the water. You probably recognize them as being dragon shards.
In the decanter?
Yeah, the water that it pours out.
Interesting. And delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly.
Only sometimes, though.
So that's where I find out I have a fondness for Kyber dragon shards now.
So how does he look to me?
He looks fine, but you'd instantly recognize that basically his ears, upon closer inspection, are not... They're not his ears. They're the same rough shape, and they do have a little layer of fur on them. But you'd recognize a very similar composition and sort of look to them as the large sort of twisted scar mass on your chest, Zerth.
That he used to have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he still has it.
Oh, it's just different shaped.
It's just been replaced.
He narrows his eyes so much. His eyes are closed.
It goes from serious anger to like the anime closed eyes. Are you serious face?
She got to him, didn't she?
He makes Frisk's face.
Exactly.
What happened?
I just found
mad. I got
No.
Some might say he got furious.
That's it.
Someone throw Yark in the lake, please.
Yep, I was just about
Take
to.
1 point of psychic damage as
Oh
that
god.
that just passes through realms.
Actually, for that one, he's going into the sun.
Just shooting cobalt start.
The timeout.
How was your
Hilarious.
time in the sun?
Hot.
I
Spicy.
figure.
But what if it's a cold sun?
Cold sun is still hot.
Anyways,
Zerf's just gonna mutter when Dusty says he got angry. He's just gonna mutter quietly to himself, and probably stupid at the same time. What happened?
He's going to pause for a while and then just say, "No." In a letter to my friend, I made a heated promise. So, I finally reached my limit. started tearing myself up, I guess. Didn't
Takes
have any direction anymore.
Dusty, I'm only gonna say this once, okay? We are here for you. Not just me and Zerth, because, you know, he's your father and I'm soon to be your mother for marriage, but Yark is your best friend. Siddle.
Is there? I'm sorry.
Siddle, just
Like,
yeah,
Sid-
Siddle is
Put me back in the sun-
there.
Put me back in the sun.
Yeah, you're going.
Siddle-
Creepy one standing around.
Siddle could be a guiding hand for you. Like, you do not need to shoulder all of this alone.
That time I definitely deserved it.
You can. Don't be a stupid teenager and go off and start hurting yourself again. Please.
What did I teach you?
Responsible for ourselves.
That. But mainly, you were never alone. We are never alone. More so than ever. Can't believe you forgot the most important lesson when we were on the road. It was just us, but it was never us against ourselves. We were together. He motions to the whole group. We are together. Like Rosalin says, you don't have to hold that burden. That is what we're here for, to help.
Just look at your father. I'm pretty sure he'd think twice before holding anything back from me, otherwise I'd beat the crap out of him.
I don't think I can anymore, actually. And he'll give like a slight, like, grin.
I don't think I'm allowed.
I'm gonna give the most evilest eye I can.
Got your leftover goddess pops. But I made her so mad.
That's my boy.
Well, you wouldn't be my
I
son
don't know
without
whether this is a
pissing off
good
God.
thing or a bad thing, but all I know is we're going to have to deal with her sooner or later. I did make a death threat at her after all.
It's gonna be the new family motto, I take it.
Just please, Dusty, don't go off and tear yourself apart like this again. Promise me.
I'll talk more, I guess.
You
It's
take a drink of the water.
just eventually, yes.
Okay, sorry.
You can't lie to her now. Especially now. You can't do that. Trust me.
It's
Zerth,
hard
good
since
question.
the mountain.
In terms of lying to your goddess, which is more scary, the Fury or Safanara?
Honestly,
Well,
I would say my wife over there. Hell has no fury like a woman in scorn, and she has a really big hammer.
I mean, either
Two-
one
two
will
now.
kill you, it seems.
Don't make me kill you and bring you back just to kill you again.
Thinks about that for a second.
That's kind of hot.
He wasn't going to say anything.
Hard since
Anyway.
the mountain.
I'm going to hoist Dusty up like Rafiki hoisting Simba and give him to Zerth.
That's adorable.
I will take him.
Oh, because she's short.
Oh, did you
I got it
just
now.
get it?
Yeah, I was like, what was the point of that? I got it now, don't worry.
I believe we have an abalone to deliver.
Mm-hmm. And a god to piss off.
So as you turn back, Yark has pulled out a book of a Pantheon booklet, and Sinnel and I are picking out which ones we think we could take. Considering we probably gonna have to fight some eventually at some point.
Fight what?
Well, our whole family seems to be pissing off gods, so Sinnel and I are picking out which ones we think we could beat if we ever have to piss off a god.
Let's see. Are there any that move really, really, really slow? And are melee?
That's metagaming, you piece of shit.
Hey, if you're an archer, you want to pick the guy who has giant fists, not the guy who throws boulders.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe ROA? God of the Heath and the farm.
Torm.
And we're talking about Eberron gods,
Ah,
which aren't really gods at all, actually.
Well, Dusty's drinking the water.
It tastes very familiar. It has a very, very, very purple fizz to it. Not really a flavor,
Ooh.
but more of an emotion and a feeling that comes along with it.
Ooh, like soda.
But you feel a little bit less shaky. The throbbing, aching pain still somewhat distracting.
Zerth has him back on his shoulder where he usually is, and he's just gonna whisper to Dusty. He's like, "How mad did you make her?"
I could feel it, and it was painful.
My boy, I know her anger is very painful.
He knocked me out of a tree.
Gave me. He'll give like a fist bump to him. It's like, my boy, father like son.
Do I need to bash your heads together?
You will hurt one of them significantly more than the other.
You can't hurt me. I'm a doctor, and this is my patient.
I'm just going to think towards Sir. Want to bet?
No, I'm good. He picks up his speed. He probably cast haste for himself.
To cartoonishly dash away.
Hey, those old cartoons where when they were running, all you could see was like a spinning white circle where their legs would be.
Exactly. Sonic the Hedgehog style.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We've got an abalone to deliver, guys.
So
you do.
I look over at Dusty and say, instead of turning to a god to bring apparently evil god to bring all your parts back, I could have just made you really cool prosthetics. Think of it, a cyborg bat.
He's going to reach out with his crystal arm, put a hand on top of Yark's head, and just push him against the tree.
I figure we're walking now, so I'd probably just fall off Zerth.
And like into it like a tree.
See, I figured he was gonna hold his crystal arm out and just fire it and say rocket punch.
He's gonna sound kind of hurt, kind of damaged, and say, "Hey, at least a robot eye wouldn't, cause you to be bound to some evil entity. my arm.
Right, I'll just make her mad and it'll go away. We've seen it before. Just be patient. Just
I'm gonna pick up Yark with my tail on the way past.
Zerth's gonna say to Dusty, "Oh, by the way, you're worshiping your mother now."
no.
Also, for pulling this stunt, you're grounded for 80 years. No TV forever.
95 years.
What's TV?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you will never find out.
Is Dusty missing an eye?
He's got one that looks different.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it came back.
It's red instead of
Got
white.
better.
Blood red. As if it's just constantly bloodshot.
And what side was it?
The right
His
eye.
right eye.
All right.
Family tradition. Yark, get over here.
Oh, come on, I haven't even pissed off my god yet.
We're skipping some steps. Where's the spoon?
Yark wants to try a new dish. It's called eyeball soup.
I've already missed my chance twice. Alright, do we get the rest of our long rest benefits at least?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Actually, give you a long rest on the combat tracker.
You're probably gonna need to talk to him a little more after this, but for now, he seems stable.
Zerth will have some words with him a little bit later.
Oh yeah, where do you need to take this abalone anyway?
I think we talked about it. Sharn, was it?
Correct.
We were going to the nearest town to catch a train.
Do you mind if I split when we get to Sharn for a bit? Because I gotta do some research on what this thing means.
Okay.
Who would have ever thought the term "I" in research would come out of my mouth?
Hey Nova, quick question while I'm
Well,
thinking
today's
about it.
been a crazy day. Your son almost killed himself.
I'm not letting you out my sight. If
And
I
was
have to collar you, I will do so.
And was resurrected by your husband's ex.
You know, Rosalin, I do have an extra collar if you'd like to borrow it.
I have a leather necklace.
You go. What was it that you wanted to do, Yark?
Question. How much do you think the large boat weighs?
Quite a bit, I imagine. Are you looking to pick it up?
Yes.
Okay. The large boat would probably be more than 1,000 pounds.
Darn.
But the rowboat with the abalone in it, you could probably carry that with telekinesis.
What about the rest of us?
No.
Darn. All right. So flying boat to Sharn is not a good option. Got it.
Plus, I think that would technically be considered. I don't think you'd be able to do it anyways, since it is only applicable to items that are not being worn or used by
Not worn
somebody else.
or carried. Didn't say anything about things that are carrying things.
I'm going to consider you being in the boat as.
How big's the boat? How heavy's the boat?
It's a rowboat. We gotta. This decision's gonna set a serious precedent. Because if I don't, you're just
How
gonna
about
use
we
the
just
boat
walk
to
the
fly everywhere.
How about we just walk the little hours of the morning to the lightning rail like we planned?
Yeah, I mean, if Dova says no, then no. Regardless of weight.
Stop trying to make boats fly.
Never!
Build an airship.
I need a permit for that.
When does that ever
And
start?
get one.
Yeah.
Expensive.
I have a lot of things on my plate right now. Okay.
Stop cooking then. Stop.
No, never.
I mean, if you impress whoever you're taking this giant slug back to, maybe you'll get an airship permit.
And why? And why do you think I want to get there so soon?
Anyway, Yark's in my tail anyway, so he has no choice.
You curl up your tail so it covers his mouth, and he can't reply.
So,
We're getting on the damn train.
Crazy.
as morning eventually comes, your visitor having departed sometime before dawn. You all are in the midst of clearing your camp. Would anyone like to do anything?
You said we're on the camp?
Yep.
Huh. I want to. Nope, never mind. That's nope. Ignore me. I can do that later. Never mind.
I'm gonna help pack up our stuff with my mind.
All right. As with a wave of your finger,
I was about to
everything
say,
just
I'll help with my normal person hands.
Yes,
Normal
but
person hands.
But this is much cooler and more magical.
Very.
As with but a simple gesture, objects move at at your own behest. Easily making short work with very minimal effort, aside from a very slight headache that you get, Yark, from just kind of multitasking everything all at once for a little while.
That's gonna take some getting used to. But cool.
Yeah. Before long, you are on the road.
We got our tickets and everything?
Not quite.
Oh, not that far on the road.
No, we need to get to the town first, and then we can go from there.
Correct.
Also,
as you make your way, sorry?
Can I point out something absolutely hilarious?
Sure.
Right, so you know how Rosalin's whole shtick is that she's been, like, done dirty by magic quite a few times, including our teleport trip.
Mm-hmm.
And she sort of has a very wariness about it. The Iron Fang allows me to cast an 8th level spell, but only on Earth Elementals and only once per day.
Still an 8th level spell.
Yeah, it's an 8th level spell. So Rosalin currently has the highest level of magic anyone can cast.
But only on one thing.
But only on one thing.
Hey, it's still an 8th level spell.
Yeah. It's just, we've come full circle. Complete circle.
Mages all over the world only dream of casting that level magic.
And you just do it.
I'm gonna get back, and Inun is gonna be like, "Shit, where'd you get that? It looks powerful."
You want to see real power? Summon an Earth Elemental. I can't do that.
It's not summon one. It's dominate monster, which is an
No.
8th level spell.
I'm saying you're telling him to summon an Earth Elemental. So you
okay,
can show
yeah,
off its true power.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, Dove. I just found that incredibly funny.
That's great.
All right. But yeah, as you guys are making your way towards the city, you're about a few hours into the day's travel as you see up ahead a wreckage of looks to be a carriage. Getting closer and closer, the carriage appears to be inlaid with bright red paint. The wheels are actually skis, so it would be in fact a sleigh.
Is there fire painted on the side?
No, but the team that was pulling it appeared to not in fact be horses or oxen, but in fact a handful of caribou, which at some point in the past were killed by whatever destroyed the carriage. Or sorry,
no.
the sleigh.
Can't believe Santa's dead.
There does in fact seem to be some loot that hasn't been picked over, but it seems to be very, very recent.
Interesting.
I cannot be blamed for this one.
I'm
Uh,
giving into
Sinnel
my
is
kobold
going
nature.
to pull out a little box that indents into another box with a spring under it, and on the top of the part that goes in, there's just a big X, and he's just going to repeatedly press it while looking pointedly at Zerth.
You trying to cancel out of everything?
No, press X to doubt.
Somebody give me a gun that when I fire it, it just has a flag that says bang.
Dova, giving into my kobold nature, I'm going to loot the sleigh.
Well, alrighty then. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Hey, I think I'm good at those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Hey, the die just kind of dropped on the table without rolling. But that's okay.
I'm going to extend my senses so that we're not caught off guard by whatever wrecked this sleigh.
All right. There does not, in fact, seem to be anything, at least within range of that blind sense.
Or tremor sense.
Tremor sense, rather.
It's practically the same thing if you think about it, because literally anything moving on the ground would give you'd be aware of it.
Yeah, but not ghosts.
That's why I said anything moving on the ground. Ghosts don't move on the ground; they float.
You got him there.
Yeah, but blind sense can see ghosts.
So,
Yark, do you want to go to the sun again?
you're looking very sunworthy.
No. I've already been there twice today.
So-
Okay, I think I need to make a bigger timeout corner. What's bigger than the
Bigger?
sun?
Inside the
Up.
carriage,
A black hole?
you find a sack very, very similar to the one which seems to dispense your very, very powerful and handy magic items. It, in fact, seems to be another very specialized bag of holding.
Second Christmas!
Christmas 2.
Electric Boogaloo?
The holiday is back.
Technically, since it's still only a day after, it's not like the holiday's back. It's still going on.
Like a proper sequel.
Boxing Day. Whenever that is. It's December 95th or whatever.
We have a joke in this household. My roommate told it to and told it years ago because I asked this stupid question of I can't remember the question I asked, but he said, "All right, oh yeah, it's Boxing Day. We'll have to get some in." See, it's stupid.
So, Yerk, do you reach in?
Yes, absolutely.
Alrighty, Rooney. Reaching in, you kind of root around for a bit before your hand closes around something distinctly package-like. And retrieving your hand back out. Inside your grip, you see a little wrapped box.
Ah, wrapped box.
Oh,
My favorite.
and reaching in and starting to unwrap it as the bag falls onto the ground. You see, it looks to be a cutlery case.
Oh.
And very, very slowly, kind of daintily opening it up, you find inside is a beautiful, very high quality chef's knife.
Swing.
It's extremely shiny, very well balanced, and it has some nice sort of golden inlay and designs on the ivory handle.
Ooh. And a sheath that sharpens it as it's in the sheath. Wow.
Not that, unfortunately. It's
Darn.
not that fancy. It
Yeah,
does
I
come with
tried.
a carrying case, so
Can't blame a kobold for trying.
It also comes signed by Steven Seagal.
I don't know who that is, but cool.
he's the greatest warrior on the planet.
Who's also a chef.
Is he?
Steven Seagal, Under Siege. Have you never watched Under Siege?
I've never watched
Yeah.
Under Siege. I know that he is a really brilliant tactician, and
Yeah, he's literally a ex-Navy SEAL. Like he's got like every decorated award for covert operations, and he's also a chef.
On like a submarine or something.
He takes out like 8 terrorists at the start of the film with kitchen knives,
Oh,
and makes a bomb in the microwave.
That's pretty amazing.
It's a good movie.
Man, the 90s were full of hits. I'll tell you that.
Just real bangers.
Yep.
Alright, this is cool. No joke, I would be psyched to get this IRL too.
Does anyone else grab a gift?
Sure.
DeSoto will
I'll
dig
reach in.
in too.
All right,
DeSoto gets sucked into the bag.
Zerth. You reach
Comes-
in and you find a rather small gift, but it is a little kind of, I don't know, something like shaped like a hot dog. But you remove it and you see that it is a very fancy, very, very skunky smelling cigar with a little bow tied around it.
Like
That's
a proper
adorable.
cigar.
It's very large, and in
It's
a
alligator
confined
size.
public space would be extremely disruptive.
Fire. You said good words, Dova.
Extremely disruptive in a public space. It must be the king of cigars.
I can only imagine that big cigar that Bender had.
Yes, the
exactly
one that's
what I was thinking about.
wasn't it like the Declaration of Independence or something like that?
Yeah.
Rolled with the declaration. Hold on, now I need to find it.
Like it's in the future, so obviously stuff stupid. But like he stole a cigar that was just the rolled up Declaration of Independence, and he was like, just imagine blowing that in some rich guy's face,
And he does.
and he does.
I think it was the same episode
if I remember, he was like, "Oh, that's terrible."
I think it was the same episode that Fry drank like 100 cups of coffee.
Yes, that was the episode where they all got $100,
$300.
$300 for like I don't know what do they call it.
It's a government stimulus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
It's
pretty much.
hilarious, by the way, to think about that.
And so Fry chose to drink 300 cups of coffee. Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good episode. Anyways,
Just
you got a very
remember,
fancy
with your
cigar.
$600 stimulus check, you can go to the Home Depot and buy all the parts for a guillotine. Just throwing that out there.
Yes, but hand tools? That's gonna be rough.
I think I'm gonna try to pay off the rest of my nothing.
All right. Sinel. Reaching into the bag, you would find two things actually. One, a rather large bag of by the smell of them appear to be animal treats of some sort.
Don't forget the soda reach from the bag as well.
No, the soda doesn't have thumbs.
He has a
He
mouth.
sticks his head in. Sinnoh will
Well,
go
then
next.
he would grab the bag of treats then.
Okay. Sinnoh will immediately confiscate them.
I knew that.
No, you get one at a time. You can have one now.
Give me an animal handling check.
One moment. Boosh.
He does growl at you for a second, but then as you put your hand on it, he reluctantly lets it go.
Hey, Sim.
Yes.
Can I post a link in chat? I was going to post a link to an article on Vorpal stuff for the chat.
Post it in the media sharing channel.
Okay. If I can find... There it is.
Sinel, what would you find? It's a great question.
I don't know. I mean, I already have a magical bag of treats, so...
These are better treats, though.
Oh.
Reaching inside, you would find something that you've heard of. Something that you've, as an outdoorsman, this is something that, at least in passing, you've been looking for and trying to acquire one of these for a long, long time. This is a Thrain-issued military ration. Renowned the world over, at least by the people who actually managed to get one during this very limited run, as probably being the most well-made, delicious ration ever made by any military so far. It's a spicy chili stew with a rice base and quite a few various sweets and sides, and as well as a very small cigarette. At least that's what you've heard is inside. This one's currently still sealed within the specially grown plant packaging.
All right. So I got an
And it's a
MRE.
real good one. Correct. A really, really, really delicious one.
Okay. I will keep that in... I will add that to my inventory, and we will probably never see it again. Just like
Hey,
the
that's
2
the
pounds
point.
of cookies and cream fudge that I have had in here forever.
That's still good.
I mean, fudge technically lasts forever. Well, not
I
forever.
I
but-
say it is. It has my blessing.
Oh, perfect.
Go ahead and roll Divine Intervention. If you roll below your levels in Cleric, then I'll allow it.
Okay.
Can I roll for divine intervention?
That's the D100.
I rolled below my levels in cleric.
Gotta roll a D100.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
38.
That's 2D. Yeah. You do not manage to invoke any sort of deityhood.
She's
Yeah,
trying to
but,
invoke
I
herself.
mean, fudge really doesn't exactly go bad. It just kind of gets harder.
All right. That combined with the cold temperatures would probably make it just rock hard.
But once you get it, a little bit wet, it just starts to dissolve in your mouth like it normally does.
Hey,
I have
hey,
had
Zim.
really old fudge, and it really does last forever. Yes.
We're like 7,000 away from the boost goal, by the way.
Jeez, we are. Cool. Creighton, I think she could.
I don't know. Considering I'm evil aligned, it might be unholy water.
It's wine.
Spiced wine.
Who else goes for a gift? I think we just have Dusty and Rosalin left.
I'm going to pick Dusty up and dunk him into the. No, I'm going.
And Dusty was never seen again.
I'm gonna lift the bag up to
was the
Seraph's shoulder where Dusty is.
I assist.
He's going to pause and then reach into the bag. Like, well, I suppose. Let's see what happens.
All right. Reaching in, your hand grasps around a small velvet pouch.
Oh,
Pulling it back up. It looks to be tied with a little bow, and giving it a little open, you see that it's filled with little chocolates wrapped in a clear something that looks almost like the membrane from some various inside parts to animals, like a little skin membrane, but it's very clear, and you can see inside. You can see the chocolates themselves. They all have this similar kind of shimmering purple speckles to them. But it smells very sweet, chocolatey, and purple.
I love the smell of purple.
That tasted purple.
Interesting. So it's another magic gift bag. Interesting.
Go ahead and add a little bag of dragon shard bonbons to your inventory.
Okay.
All right. And Rosalin, how about you?
Yeah, I'll reach in.
All right. You pull out a small package. As you drop the bag to the ground, the bag itself starts to shimmer and sort of disintegrate into a little flurry of snowflakes and bits of confetti that drift along in the wind. But inside the package itself is two things. One is what looks to be a roll of grip tape, specifically for weapons or tools. You basically just wrap this around the grip, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable to wield.
Nice.
You also find a very well-made, very sturdy hairbrush with very stiff. You're not sure what kind of hair it is, but it's got very stiff bristles on it.
I will accept these offerings.
There we go. All right. Anything else that you guys would like to do to the sleigh before you head on?
Can I do? Is there anything useful that we could get from this sleigh?
As far as you're aware, not really.
Wow, just badmouth all the gifts like that.
I can't think of anything else.
The sleigh.
How's the sleigh look? Is it damaged?
Looks to have been fairly heavily damaged by some, well, look to be very, very powerful slashing and piercing strikes. Likely from various metallic weapons. You might be able to recognize this as probably being the handiwork of Raktul Kesh.
I figured.
Just kind of pass through here and drive by them.
In killing the Santa, he had inadvertently become the Santa.
Mm-hmm. It absorbed all the gifts.
Well, not all of them, apparently.
Mm.
Oh, well, I still have my boat sled, so let's go.
Alrighty, Rooney. Before long, you guys make it to the town. I believe it was Sterilasker. Let me check the map.
There's definitely one we've been to before.
Yeah, bring up the map again so I can pin it to the background.
Ooh, smart. Where are you? Here you are, buddy. Can I get a perception check from everybody as you are entering the town?
Yes.
You said perception?
Correct. And I need to change my playlist.
God,
Oh.
I love pinning the map to the background. It was actually Vaferond that we were gonna be inside of,
Correct.
and then we were gonna get the catch lightning rail all the way to Sharn, or at least to wherever we left the doorway to the house.
Mhm.
You're right. Pinning the map to the background is so cool. And now I think we're just going straight to Sharn.
Okay.
You're not sure whether or not you could actually take the abalone into the house.
It was more. I don't know if we were gonna go home and ask our resident teleportation NPC, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't treat him like that.
He's a bit preoccupied, so you think you wouldn't be able to get an answer from him.
Does he know teleportation circle?
He does. He's
Yeah.
the one that's been creating them.
Maybe retroactively he could have been casting it on that spot every single day, so we can teleport to it with teleportation circle.
I mean, the issue is that we'd have to change trains to get to. Actually, where did we leave the doorway? Oh no, I guess you could just make a new one.
Mm-hmm. I believe it was at the site of your old house.
Yeah, so we'd have to go to Hatherell, or yeah.
Well, no, as long as if we're on the outside, we just got to make a new one. We don't have to.
Yeah, but where
keep
would he
going
put the
up.
teleportation? Where would he have put the teleportation circle? Because it wouldn't be in the Dabby plane.
Oh, true. Never mind then.
That's what I'm saying. He would have been putting the teleportation circle wherever the original door was.
Anyways. Perception check. This is vision based, by the way. If that changes anything. So, actually, everybody sees it.
I like how 3 of us got a 23, and it was the first 3 who rolled.
Yeah. On the towards the far towards the west, you guys kind of all see it at once as it sort of appears from behind a cloud. Is a very familiar, almost graceful, silent white wing. The colossal airship. Far, far off in the distance, almost on the horizon. Slowly making its way towards you.
If it
Wait, is this the evil boat we don't like that has the man in it?
Correct.
But it
If-
also has a party member in it.
Hmm.
mhm. I'm gonna use my special eye.
Do we know it has the blue in it?
Yeah, we scried on him.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Presumably has him on it. There
The
could be
dec-
another.
the
There could be a
decor
second
was the same.
airship with.
Yeah, the decor was the same and stuff, and as Zerth said, it seemed exactly like the airship. Let me guess, freaking Sigma's pissed that we killed one of his toys.
Probably not.
Probably. I'm gonna use my eye to see if I can see anybody looking at us from the deck.
What does your Adamu eye see?
How far does that allow you to see? Is it
That-
written or?
I think I wrote it down. If I can find the eyeball. 1 mile.
1 mile. All right. Staring closely at it, you'd be able to see that the large air screws on the back are spinning quite furiously, but it doesn't seem to be. There doesn't seem to be anyone, as far as you can tell. It's still quite a ways away. It's about. I'm gonna throw a number out there that I think is correct. Would be about maybe 60, 70 miles.
I'll, because I have a limited amount of time I can use this, he'll fade it in and out, on and off, like when it looks like it's getting closer,
All right.
and then when it gets within a mile, just he's gonna see if he sees anybody on top of the deck, because he wants to wave to him.
Important question, sir.
Yep.
Does your eye let you see dead people? Because there's a lot of dead people on that ship if they piss me off.
I don't think it lets. I don't think that's right. I don't think it lets me see that.
I want to deliver this stupid abalone, and we
I don't
keep
have
getting interrupted.
I don't have the smiting option on it.
Mostly because I
but
want the
you-
Cobalt to stop yapping about it.
Yap!
You're currently polishing your abalone.
Yap, yap.
So we are at the station here in the town.
Sorry?
So we're at the town, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're walking up to the station, and there's an airship in the distance. A very familiar foreboding airship in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have an
Ooh.
airship to go attack it with, though.
Not
True.
yet.
We have.
Hey, Dova.
We have art in the media share channel. Or sorry,
Oh.
the art share
Nova.
channel.
Oh,
Yeah?
What's the range on my load bow?
It should say there.
It's not a mile.
Did we actually put in its range?
aww. Powerstone, you the best.
How does that make you feel, Dusty? You made someone cry.
Okay, it can shoot to about 1/5 of a mile.
Mm-hmm. So it would not be quite long enough.
Yeah. I need to find a way to increase it.
No, you don't.
So, as it
Not.
slowly approaches, you can see it's not quite heading directly towards the city, but rather slightly towards the side, as it's slightly starting to turn towards the north. But Zerth, staring up at it, you wouldn't be able to resolve any figures on the outside. but its presence is drawing quite a crowd and quite a clamor from the city, as various bells are being rung, guards clamor about the streets, awoken as they head towards their duty stations, and large emplacements with arcane artillery are manned. You can see on the roof of one of the buildings a large rune engraved staff. It is sort of hoisted up, much like a flagpole, and pointed in the general direction as various spell slingers sort of gather around and prepare to fire. But ultimately, everybody just seems to slowly stand down as it turns away.
I am going to flip the bird at the airship.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
God, that is a teeny tiny bird.
A very, very small bird. Small fingers.
Also, I was going to suggest the Warhammer Fantasy equivalent, which it's just a magic crystal, but there's like 18 lenses in front of it to focus the blast.
Zerth's just gonna mutter. It's like it always seems to him to be following us.
That direction is the way we came from. You said it turned north. We came from the north, right?
Correct. You hear a very faint stomping as coming through the streets, along with a detachment of various arcane artillerymen, mounted on the platforms on its back as a warforged titan.
Oof.
One of the ones that you've actually sort of fought before at the bottom of the lake, but in much better state of repair.
Ooh.
Getting flashbacks.
He's cool. Yeah, Yark has stars in his eyes watching it.
Yeah, you know those scenes where you yank the character away and their head is still like slightly further back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that to Yark.
His eyes remain in place.
Yeah, Looney Tunes style. Right, station.
Alrighty, Rooney.
I knew you'd like that one, Power Stone.
Yes,
I like that art, by the way, Power Stone.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I can feel that
No,
one.
I should put it up on the stream.
You should. So, as you sort of trundle up, looking quite quite rough. None of you having had access to a real sort of a water bath for a few days. While magical cleaning is quite nice, it doesn't quite do the fur justice as a proper soap and water bath does.
Haha, you furred animals.
Yark, your scales are looking a little bit dull.
Well, it's better
Get
than having
wrecked,
gross fur.
scale it.
Cold-blooded idiot.
Fleabag. I'd imagine these kinds of back and forth are very common.
Yeah, we gotta fill the long hours of walking.
It's fine. Rosalin will eventually work out a way to convert blood into conditioner. That way, when she starts blending her enemies, she stays fresh.
I don't know. Yark could probably do that.
Don't
If
worry.
you admit that lizards are cooler.
That brings a whole new meaning to the word. Maybe it's Maybelline
Mhm.
or Peter or Tom.
Okay, it took me a second, but that was amazing.
So, where are you guys headed?
Oh, are
Sharn.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it
Gonna
looks like
My
just
you got
hamster
an
is getting
stand there,
antsy.
wait, holding up the
If
line.
we be adventurers, let us
I
adventure.
literally said Sharn.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you taking the boat with you?
Yes. And I can pay for extra carriage if need be.
Righty. So that'll be going in one of the freight wagons, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, he directs you to drag it over to one of the large weighing scales.
I tell everyone in the vicinity who looks to be handling who looks like they're going to be handling it to be very careful. It's worth more than they are.
We'll be sure to let them know. We'll put the big fragile tag on it. How about that?
On the big glass case with
But-
an animal
but-
in it. Okay.
Why a fragile one? We want to have it be fragile.
No, that's Italian.
Fragile.
They won't be able to read it if it's
Yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, but
Oh.
they would just instinctively know that it's super important.
I mean, if it's a white background with red text, then yeah.
I wave my hand and it kind of starts hovering toward the scale, and I say, I swear I had to fight a aboleth for this.
People are maintaining a nice distance as it slowly floats through the air. But after getting it all weighed up and basically moving it throughout the cargo platform to actually get it into loading position, you're finally given the invoice and the receipt, which to ship it via freight would cost an eye-watering 250 Galifars for the weight,
That's not too bad.
all the way to Sharn. Fair enough.
And also first class, obviously.
What the?
No, for me, not for the
Okay.
abalone.
Gotcha. All right, so
And here I was about to be worried that you were going to take the abalone on first class.
Yeah, he's just gonna hug it in his carriage.
I have a little glass of champagne and I clink it against the glass.
so it's about 1,000 miles ish. Rounded. All right. Should be. Oh boy, I got to bring out the calculator.
Where's your abacus, Dova?
All right, so first class tickets are 200 Galifars.
Mm.
All right, so 200,
Raises
250. That's
every time we
Four-
ride this train. It seems.
Well, demand's going up. You know, all the various soldier types kind of, going on the train and heading to the various sort of skirmish zones around the. You guys look confused. Where you guys been? Oh, you know what? The sort of the smell kind of explains it. I'd stay away from the borders if I was you.
Can I book 2 compartments? Because I assume first class comes in compartments like the older trains.
Correct.
One for myself, my husband, and my son, and another for our family friend and his dog.
All right. Are you going to be traveling along with the kobold gentleman?
Yep.
Which compartment are you gonna be in, sir? As he's looking at Yark.
Oh, you mean? I said first class, right?
Yeah, but we're going first class. But I'm trying to get them to if we go 2 separate compartments, they might allow DeSoto to sit in first class for a change, because he'll not be bothering anyone if he's in a compartment.
My
Wait,
hamster is
how many
getting antsy. If we be adventurers,
How big are the
let
compartments?
us
I'm confused.
adventure.
We haven't had to pick. Have we had to pick compartments before, Dova?
No, this is just seating arrangements.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything extra. It's just
Normally, when you ride first class, you get like a compartment which is like 2
a room.
benches.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like a small room with 2 benches and maybe a table in the middle or a fold-out table. Depends.
So, would you say that if Sino got a first class ticket, then he could take DeSoto with him for free? Because he's a dog.
Uh,
Because he's just getting a compartment.
he looks back and asks somebody behind him. Well, I mean, technically, since he is, you hear him turn around again and talk to someone who looks to be a little bit more in charge, and you hear something service animal. Well, I guess the dog rides for free as long as he doesn't make a mess and is well behaved. Which, guessing how he's kind of just being nice and quiet right there, I'd guess he's nice and well behaved. Ain't that right?
He will be.
Well, I'll make an exception because he's very polite.
It's not the dog you have to worry about. It's the gator.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So, Sino,
So
you
what
buying a
if
first
we-
class ticket?
So, are we renting the compartments, or are we?
I was trying to get them to allow us to rent 2 of the compartments in the first class train so that we
Yeah.
could split. We could split. It would be Yark, yourself, and DeSoto in one compartment, and myself, Zerth, and Dusty in the other, because that's about the average that a compartment could fit, considering
Yeah.
Zerth's size.
The tickets are going to cost the same, but since you're buying first class, they'll basically give you a choice of a compartment.
Yep.
It's going to cost the same per head.
It-
Except for
it-
DeSoto. DeSoto doesn't have to pay.
Yep.
He's
So it'll
a
be
dog.
So
200.
it'll be 200 each person.
Yep.
Correct.
But we do get meals, and I was trying not to leave you out, because normally you end up in steerage because of DeSoto, so...
Yeah, I
Really
would
dusty and
appreciate it.
Zerth end up in steerage. Really dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been forcing Zerth to go first class because...
She has.
Yep.
Trying to upscale the handbag.
Squeak.
What is that?
Can you afford 200 Galifars, Sunil?
Yeah, I can afford that.
I mean, you're getting DeSoto in a first-class carriage for free. And also, don't forget it comes with meals.
Yeah, I can pull it off.
Okay.
I actually have more money than I realized. Still spent a lot. Still gonna have to spend a lot of money to replace ammo after that underwater fight.
Hey, I only have 1,000 Galifars, so... And I was offering to pay for, like, at least 3 of this.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, I have
can
a-
pay for mine. Thank you, though.
Plus, during the fight with demon flying centaur, I did have a distinct memory of Dova saying, "Oh, and I'll be using his magical ammunition because he probably want to use that."
For the arrow, at least, yeah.
Right, so, we're all agreed on seeing?
Yep.
Right. I'll spend 200 Galifars on myself. Dusty, do you have enough?
Enough.
No, Dusty has
Assume
disappeared again.
No, I said I have more than enough.
Okay. Well, I just subtracted 200 Galifars, Dover.
All right.
I also subtracted
Yeah.
mine.
I subtracted mine.
Yep, I paid for everything.
Alright, I've subtracted.
All right.
Beep.
You guys are handed nicely sort of gold embossed tickets. Along with Yark, you get a cargo receipt for the well secured abalone.
I didn't know deluxe seats for tickets were covered in diamonds.
I got a
It appears
golden
to be-
ticket.
It appears to be fake gold. As after how long does prestidigitation last? About 10 minutes, yeah? Or no,
Yep.
sorry, 1
Minor
hour.
illusion? Or no? I don't remember.
My hamster.
Prestidigitation, it's the cantrip.
Let us
Yeah,
yeah.
the gold effect seems to fade after a little while, but it still is a nice sort of ticket. So, you guys get on, settling down into your respective compartments. Yes,
You do have influence.
I did see that. The one from Power Stone accepted. As the one, in addition to the one for Yark.
Oh.
Yark.
Yes.
Looking through some of the complimentary supplies in the washroom, you see a little bottle of something that claims to be scale conditioner.
Ooh, and it's never been used because no one, a very few reptilian folk ever ride the train, apparently.
Correct.
Or allowed in first class.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I will use it immediately.
All right. Sinnel, from inside the restroom that you're kind of disappeared into, you can hear a few sort of involuntary grunts of satisfaction as Yark, you start to feel very clean, very, very shiny, and extremely good looking.
Nice and smooth.
You're so smooth and shiny. You've got a truly metallic sheen to you. As it almost
feel
goes
like
on like a wax.
Feel like a million dragons.
Would you like me to have them come up with something, or?
I can figure out something.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the cabin car, I'm going to pick Dusty up.
Real quick, I would like to point out that we have 21 viewers right now.
Nice.
Hey.
It only took me literally ripping myself apart, but we're here.
I'm going to
Hey, it's worth it.
I'm going to pull Dusty against my brass plate, and I'm going to squeeze as hard as I can.
Right.
You stupid idiot! Do you have any idea what I would have done, what your father would have done if we lost you?
There's no amount of bodies that could be buried.
Now tell me. Well, you don't need to tell me, but remember what I said about you could talk to us. What did she offer you?
Nothing really. Except for my friend back. Apparently something's got him. Or at least his soul. She didn't offer anything at first. And I called her pathetic.
And you believe her?
Not really.
Good, because she as far as I'm concerned, she's in the bad books.
Hmm. I may. Zerth's just gonna like take out the cigars. Like, I may be able to get to the bottom of if your friend's spirit is actually in grave danger. He says with like almost a wince in his eye.
The train sort of lurches beneath you as it clunks off. The little linkages between cars picking up the slack one by one. As the station behind you slowly kind of crawls away.
Anyway, if we're gonna solve this, we're gonna do it together. All of us. I'm sure Siddle and Yark included.
As you say his name, Yark is going to knock on your door and slide it open and say, "Is now a good time?"
What?
He opens the door and with a big grin on his face and looks kind of sheepish and says, "Well, for all of your amazing help in acquiring this rare ingredient, I wanted to finally give you this." And he's going to present tickets to the party.
By the way, he looks very, very shiny.
Did you pour a barrel of oil on yourself?
No, I found this. There's a bottle of scale conditioner in the complimentary scale conditioner in the washroom.
Looks good on you. Very sparkly.
Why, thank you. And he's gonna puff his chest out and like strike a pose.
Speaking of washroom, I have a grooming appointment, and she takes out the comb that she got earlier.
Zerth will take the tickets and thank him. We're more than happy to help.
How fancy are the tickets, Dova? Or invitations, I guess.
Invitations are just as fancy, if not much, much, much more fancy. Having like real gold leaf pressed into it to form some of the larger letters.
And of course, I'll go do the same with Sinel.
All right.
Here you go, Sinel. Thank you for all your help, and I made sure there was a wine bar.
Oh boy.
Just be wary. There are bouncers there.
What's the dress code there?
Extremely formal. High formal.
Almost black tie, but not quite.
Well, I'm fucked.
I don't know the difference.
Zerth still has that suit.
Hold on, keep going.
Fiddle is going to be so out of place at this thing. He is. I mean, his home village was just a thing up in the trees in the middle of a jungle. They didn't have formal events. He has never been to anything remotely formal.
Well, looks like you have a visit with the tailors when we get to Sharn.
A tailor?
Yeah, I've never
Yeah, they
been to
tie
one.
on your tail.
They do something with your tail. I can't be sure.
They better not touch my tail.
Also,
He's hugging his tail close right now.
I posted a picture in the Echoes of Eberron chat, which very clearly describes the evolution of formal dress wear.
Rosalind just passes the open door of that carriage and she's on her way to the washroom and says, "They better not do anything with your tail too. I still have dibs on you as a fur coat."
Welcome to Try.
You can't escape that, so no.
Business demi-magnet hyper. Oh, man.
Business maximum synergy limit break over formal.
And black tie.
And then black tie.
And the
Honestly,
only
Eberron might be business demi-magnate hyperformal.
yeah,
Honestly, would be fashion.
the only formal things that Rosalind's ever been to has been a military thing once. So.
And that was in an entirely different world that probably has different fashion setups. Also, I put the dress code up in the on the stream.
Business maximum synergy limit break over formal. I hope you guys brought your floating power rings.
You guys don't have one? Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh
Yeah,
no.
don't I get one when I reach 5 followers, Dova?
No, that's the flowing raiment that drapes over your shoulders. 20 followers is a floating ring.
Oh, you mean the one that appears in every like Korean MMORPG where there's like a goddess involved that comes down and tasks you with saving the world. They've got like this flying drape around their shoulders.
Exactly. Like it's a drape around their shoulders but doesn't actually touch their shoulders.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, Toshime.
No, that's a great point.
No, Toshime, the suit is black. His tie is red.
I don't know what's going on with that. That kind of scares me.
Black tie is very formal.
So if it's just Zerth and Dusty left in the cart, he'll look to Dusty and says, "Do you want me to try that?"
I'd like to know.
Okay. So for the net, he's gonna sit kinda on the ground, or no? Well, then, yeah, he's gonna have to sit on the ground long way with his back towards the window, and he's gonna cast Planar Ally. It takes 10 minutes.
What does it do?
You beseech an otherworldly entity for your aid. The being must be known to you, a god, a primordial, a demon prince, or something other being of cosmic power. That entity sends a celestial, an elemental, or a fiend loyal to it to aid you, making the creature appear in an unoccupied space within range. If you know a specific creature's name, you can speak that name when you cast this spell to request that creature, though you might get a different creature anyway. DM's choice. When the creature appears, it is under no compulsion to behave in any particular way. You can ask the creature to perform a service in exchange for payment, but it isn't obligated to do so. The requested task could range from simple, fly us across the chasm or help us fight in a battle, to complex, spy on our enemy or protect us from during our voyage into the dungeon. You must be able to communicate with the creature to begin to bargain for the services. Payment can take a variety of forms. A celestial might request a sizable donation of gold or magic items to an allied temple, while a fiend might demand a living sacrifice or a gift of treasure. Some creatures might exchange their service for a quest undertaken by you. There's a lot. As a rule of thumb, a task that can be measured in minutes requires a payment worth of 100 gold per minute. A task measured in hours requires 1,000 gold per hour, and a task measured in a day up to 10 days require 10,000 gold per day. The DM can adjust the payments based on the circumstances under which you cast.
All right, so you go ahead and cast the spell.
Yep.
Taking a little while to basically utter prayer and pull on whatever strings that you have access to. Rosalin, as you're sitting over in the corner grooming yourself with the brush, and
and you feel a strange sort of tingling, itching sensation. You just kind of itch it for a moment before that tingling sort of grows into a much more intense sort of itching feeling right between your shoulder blades.
I knew you had fleas.
I would like
trips
to beseech the DM to psychically smite the kobold.
In response, Yark trips over Zerth's tail as it's sticking out of the door.
As you're heading out into the hallway. Oh,
It's okay. I've thrown him into the black hole.
Are you making more timeout channels?
Yes.
I make one
Lord.
whenever it is required.
Anyway, I have an extreme itching between my shoulder blades. Use it. Well, not quite extreme yet, but it's starting to get focused. You said.
Dang flea havers working together.
Is there a mirror in here?
There is. Like,
I'm gonna-
like in the little washroom.
I'm gonna you know that thing where you like turn around and you look around, you know,
You
like
try
you
to-
spin a couple of times and look
Give me
behind you.
Give me an acrobatics check. Barely managed to see in your peripheral vision. There's a glowing red spot right between your shoulder blades, beneath your armor. It looks as though there's a little bit of smoke rising from it, but you can't smell smoke, and it doesn't feel that painful.
Oh my god, I just realized what's happening.
What?
Zerth is using his goddess's power.
Mm. That's pretty strange. I lost my place. So, Zerth, as you're about midway through casting the spell, it doesn't seem to have a valid target.
Hmm.
As from your learnings, this spell specifically can basically contact and request aid from people of at least cosmic power. The Fury, or at least the entity that you know as the Fury, is not one of those things.
He sighs heavily and just looks to Dusty. Well, that explains why she told me never to do that.
Not suspicious at all.
Because she
I
sucks.
I did not think she would be capable.
Now, I know this is still out of character, but can that be cast and targeted and target the guy's soul itself?
I mean, I'll have to learn a different creature's name.
No, because the target's soul is not an outsider. So what happens is the deity sends an outsider, whether it be Fiend Celestial or something, to heed the deal that the cleric wants to make.
And
So it has to be a celestial or a demon.
Yeah.
Not an
and-
undead soul.
the Fury always told him never to cast a spell. He's like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. Like, well, I'm not listening to this, and it
seems the Fury doesn't have any outsiders under its command. So
or it's not a celestial.
That too.
Sinnoh,
Oh God.
as you're taking a small break to stretch your legs, a rather excited pair of legs sort of bounds up behind you and accidentally kind of bumps into you from behind, sending you kind of stumbling a little bit. But the voice comes from a faintly sort of fox-looking creature, who looks at you and says, "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, I think I recognize you. You're the. Aren't you that?
No, I'm sure you've got me confused with someone else.
No. I had family in Valinor. From back when you liberated. You liberated everyone, and I want to say thank you. And sorry, this is really awkward.
Yeah,
Tinsel, right?
Do you want to catch up a little bit? I've got a small card game going in one of the sleeper cabins. Do you want to join with? I'll pay your buy-in for you.
Sure.
Oh, I can just imagine this excitable little fox.
Mm-hmm. It looks very similar to what Inun is, but this one appears to only have one tail.
Also, Inun just looks like a weirdo. All those green glowing runes and shit.
Inun's technically one of a kind, as far as he knows.
Yep. That's why I called him a weirdo.
As they kind of not really drag you into one of the next cars, but very excitedly lead you there, where there's currently a game running with a handful of other foxes, and then two incredibly drunk dwarves.
Sinel is mouthing to Desoda, "Get help."
The narrator says, unfortunately for him, Desoda could not read lips.
Shit. If only Sinel knew that I had like a pair of magic knuckle dice that give people advantage on gambling.
I mean, I've also got my own luck stone that I think would assist with this.
That would make a lot of sense.
All skill checks and saving throws.
Yeah.
As you, if
Where the hell is my
reluctantly,
luck stone?
join in on the little bit of gambling, your fairly small buy-in having been bought for you by your new friend.
How old are these foxes? Look?
Kidnapper.
I fairly not really old, but definitely not young either. So fairly average adult age.
Is the buy-in level like? Are we talking silvers here?
Yeah, we're talking like a handful of sovereigns. Most of the bets are paid with crowns.
That's so funny. That's adorable.
But I'm gonna roll some
Real
dice
quick,
here and see how they do.
it has been requested that we have the purring marten, so let me get that up.
Yes, Wolfbag, you are correct. The pine marten is kawaii. Oh no, your sister's correct. The pine marten is indeed kawaii.
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 Little
What an adorable little Tasmanian devil ferret.
little claws. Look at him. It's like a possum but longer.
No, it's like a Tasmanian devil but narrow.
Hey, possums are my spirit animal, okay?
Portrait mode.
Hey,
Tasmanian
possums are missing
Portrait
fur
mode
in a lot of
Tasmanian
places.
devil.
Possums
Martins
are fantastic.
have
All they want to do is
luxurious
eat trash,
No.
and scream at ass, okay?
devil. Mm-hmm.
No, it's a ferret but werewolf form.
I will accept that
So-
one.
Just a really scruffy ferret.
They are not scruffy.
Oh, they look pretty scruffy to me. Anyways,
Like, I think if I get into a new D&D game, with the server, like, anytime, I might play a possum next time.
all right, Samsung Pay, you are. I'm about to just disable all notifications for you, for real.
I've been getting a lot of those too.
Jesus.
A stupid
It's
Samsung.
like, hey,
Pay,
you're
they
$10 away
keep-
from, and then I stop reading.
Yeah. it's giving me advertisements, which is
Yeah.
serious just bullshit. Anyway, so I'm getting off topic. Sinel, by pure luck, you appear to be actually getting quite far in this card game, working your way past the first initial rounds, and actually ending up in a all-for-nothing bout against one of the very drunken dwarves, who has offered up, instead of an all-in, a prize of his own. A little authentic Maror Hold puzzle cube. Rather, House Kundarak, known for very secure locks. And as the cards turn over, revealing a overwhelming victory in your favor, you walk away from the interaction with a brand new puzzle cube. One that's very, very well made, and looks like it'll keep you occupied for a very long amount of time. You can also hear something faintly metallic and very dense rattling around on the inside. Likely prize.
Oh
Sino
God,
will
Dovo, why am I
happily
getting-
accept this.
Why am I getting flashbacks to the metal cockroach?
He'll be immediately. Oh God, that thing. You're
Why don't we
lucky
give a
that's
Rubik
not a
cube to the barn?
timeout. You're lucky that's not a timeoutable offense. Reminding me of that monstrosity you created.
Dude, it was not unlike a bug Terminator. It just wouldn't stop.
Ugh.
It was pretty wonderful.
Anyways, yeah, he's gonna be walking back to the
The only thing I'm disappointed in is that we didn't get the Metal Mario soundtrack for it.
He's gonna be walking back to the compartment, looking over it and studying it, trying to see if he can figure out how to solve it.
All right. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check. I've
Oh,
went
you
ahead and
added
added
it.
the item to your inventory.
I see
Should
that.
be labeled as the Dwarven Puzzle Cube, just below your bag of holding.
Yeah, I was about to
Intelligence
start
none found.
typing on. I was just about to start typing on the blank line, and then you clicked or something, and it was filled. And I was like, oh. All right, intelligence.
Correct. Your head hurts. You get like one of the sections to the faintly move. I said vague. Oh my god, it's true. You get it
Okay, so
to
what-
very faintly move, but as soon as you start to try to kind of move one of the other sections, it just kind of clicks back into place, and you spend basically whenever you go back to it for the rest of this day's travel, you just end up stumped. You can't quite get started on it.
It's okay, Dovo. We love you for it.
My really weird accent.
Rosalind's gonna walk back into
Translation?
her
Wrong
car,
accent.
like, nicely brushed, and carrying her armor.
You look very shiny, with a nice sheen, and your fur is very, very floofy.
Yeah. I'm gonna kick Surf's tail aside as I get through the door.
Ugh. He'll move it.
Hey, I need you to check something for me.
Sure.
You know what? I don't care. She's gonna start unwrapping the. She keeps her like chest bound in bandages to not get in the way. So she's gonna start unwrapping them and then like turn around. Check my back just below the shoulder blade.
He will.
Give me a medicine check. you kind of look, and right in between the shoulder blades, where it looks like she just would not be able to reach. Which, by the way, in Warhammer Fantasy Dwarvish, it's called the Dongliz. It's a real thing. Look it up on the wiki. Is a little where the fur has kind of been displaced by what looks to be a tiny little wart. And looking closely at it, kind of reach forward and give it a tiny little bit of a poke, and the actual sort of head of it is rock hard. In fact, it is a rock. It's a little bit of what looks to be quartz.
You got minerals sprouting from your back.
Okay. It's like it just started like shining, burning, whatever. When I was in the bathroom, when I was in the washroom. Sorry.
By the way, Dova, did you see the other influence?
I did, Toshime.
Would Zerth
Was
make
that
that
allowed
connection?
or denied?
Accepted.
Okay.
Or do you want me to roll like an insight check or something?
I mean, it was about during the time that you were casting that spell.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not sure whether or not that would have caused that to grow. That seems kind of weird and kind of out there.
Yeah, but we're kind of in a new territory too.
That's true. Nothing really makes sense where you're currently at.
All right, let me roll something. Zerth will go. Well, while you were in there, I was trying to cast a spell that the bitch, yeah, we'll go with her, always told me not to. Could be correlated with that. Nothing happened though.
I'm as clueless. If you're clueless, I'm clueless. Like, you know me in magic.
I can. He's gonna do it again. While he's just gonna be looking at her back to see if that's what triggers it, and he'll let her know. It's like, I'm gonna do this again. We're gonna see. We're gonna find this out together.
Okay. I guess I'll allow it.
And he's gonna cast it again.
Oh, my Discord froze. Uh-oh.
Who knows?
Oh, my Discord froze hard. Uh-oh.
Can you
Alright,
hear
well,
us?
I can still hear
my
you.
divine intervention.
I can still talk, so... Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we
Alright,
can hear you.
perfect.
Yes.
Well, we'll just wait for it to eventually sort itself out. So, as you, what spell would you be casting?
The planar ally again.
Go and subtract those points again, by the way.
Yep.
And are you again targeting the Fury?
I would say yes, and he would tell her that that's what he was kind of doing, but like he did it subconsciously because he was so used to it.
Okay.
Just kind of going with the flow of what he was normally used to, just so that she's prepared.
Mm-hmm. All right. Again, you cannot find an actual suitable subject for the spell. However, Rosalin, you do notice that same sort of faint itching sensation in the middle of between your shoulder blades. It doesn't quite get as painful as before. It's just sort of irritating and a little bit distracting.
Dusty. Dusty,
What is it?
am I growing something on my back? It said Zerth is preoccupied with the spell.
Okay. He's going to look.
Looking, yeah, you'd see that tiny little wart, and a little shimmer of what looks to be a clear mineral, kind of poking out.
Can we stop calling it a wart, please? It makes me really uncomfortable.
All right, boil.
A moist boil.
See,
I mean,
I don't really.
It's
here's
not.
the-
It's not quite at the stage of being called a bubo, so I can't call it that.
Protrusion.
So, since Sinnoh brought it up, I'm just gonna say I think people who say that they are upset by the sound or word moist are just making it up. It's like trendy to be upset by that sound, by that word. I feel like people are just following
but
the
it's
trend.
still
This
fun.
is not actually so upsetting.
It's just cringe.
Zerth would, not to spend so much time on it, he would actually do it one more time, but he would target Rosalin. Like, think of her as he's doing it. And that would probably be the last time he's going to do it, because it takes a lot out of him.
Dusty just stares at it.
Right. It appears to actually be a viable target.
Uh-oh.
Rosalin, what? This is a great question.
I would say it would take the shape of an army of squirrels, like
No,
ephemeral
it's
squirrels.
usually a creature that is at least under their power, and I ain't enthralled any army of squirrels anytime soon.
Fleas.
So, in a strange twist, hold on. I need to check this spell description one last time for one specific thing.
There's only a few creatures I can think of.
What's the task that you would like to perform?
He was gonna as he said with Dusty, he was gonna get him to check on his friend in the spirit realm to see if he's actually in danger or not, to see if there's any validity to what the Fury said, or she's just kind of pulling the wool over the eyes.
Okay. As you do so, you eventually, kind of going through the motions of the spell, you find an applicable creature under basically Rosalin's control, and you summon it. As you guys watch, Zerth kind of shimmers for a moment, and then teleports roughly like 2 feet in front of himself.
Oh
my!
But facing the other direction.
Facing the chair.
I was actually that's funny, but I was actually gonna bring like a spook factor in, and since the player is technically here, he could have done it. It summons Kalani's spirit from the other world.
Oh,
That's so
And
funny.
since Sim would technically have to play him.
I don't know. I
Dusty
think it's
does
funnier.
not look surprised.
I think it's funnier that Zerth is her emissary, the only being that she has control over.
Currently. Next time, who knows?
Yeah.
He's just gonna like look at his hands, look to her, look to Dusty, look to where he was at, look at his hands again, and just go, the fuck?
You have a very strong urge to check on Zell's soul.
Can he do that?
Somehow.
I'm going to backhand Zerth.
But you do need payment.
Of my own.
Yeah. Which payment's not currently being offered by anyone at this point, so
I mean,
So you don't
the
need to.
spell would.
he cast a spell, so would he pay himself?
Is it like a New Year's resolution?
That's a great question as you teleport back into your chair. Just confused.
Okay, let's. You know what? I hate to be mimicking the Fury on this, but let's not cast that spell right now.
Look! I hate to sound like your ex, but
I hate to agree with that thought, but I agree with that thought. That is a ban on the spell list.
So it's currently kind of near evening on the first day of travel. And you hear a faint knock on the door. Kind of looking through the little window, you see one of the conductors, the engineers on the train. Sorry to bother you. Are you able to give us some assistance? We'll compensate.
What's the issue?
Which door?
Currently the one with Zerth in it.
So it's basically say we're on the left, they're on the right, across from us.
Are they
That's it,
addressing
that's it.
all of us, or just addressing me? Essentially,
The room in general.
The room in what's going on?
Well, we've had some passengers report that there's quite a bit of magic or spell casting going on. And while it is technically frowned upon, we do have something that needs a quite powerful magical touch to solve, and we were wondering if you would lend your hand in doing so. We need somebody who can control elementals.
Zer's just gonna smile extra wide.
What kind of elemental?
Well, I'll explain as we go along. How about that?
Okay. Hold on a minute. And then I'm gonna bang 4 times on Yark's door.
No, Yark is already standing behind them, saying, "What are you guys waiting for? Come on!"
You just, as soon as you hear any sort of noise in the hallway, you dart towards the door and stare out it.
Some conductor just trips over Yark. Didn't see him.
Zerf gets up like an old man.
I'm squeaking.
And he's like, "All right, let's go." He picks up Dusty, puts him on his shoulder.
Dusty's just like, "But Dad, I was sleeping."
Family bonding exercise. Move it.
Actually, no, you'd technically be more awake by now, wouldn't you? It is getting towards nighttime.
It is. Dusty?
Yep.
Hello.
I said yes.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Sinnel, you here?
Yeah? What's up?
Apparently they have a problem with an elemental. Do you want to come?
Sure.
It's family fun time. Zer's actively exciting, his hair throbbing up and down.
Just to remind me, this is the middle of the night, right?
It's fairly
evening.
close to evening. Yeah,
Early evening.
Oh, okay.
Dinner has not yet been served.
Sinnel has been working on that puzzle cube regardless the entire day.
So your eyes are a bit sore.
He's a bit, yeah.
He needs a stretch.
They also said they'd compensate us, so...
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can't figure this thing out, so yeah, let's go. Let's go.
All right. Heading towards the front of the train, which actually isn't very far from your first class carriage. You'd rapidly find yourself in one of the second train car, a tender car full of various machinery, hoppers, and various silos full of the materials that keep the train running. But as they enter this space, they say, "Well, as much as we're trying, we're starting to lose the grips on the propulsion elemental. As you know, a lightning rail like this is kept aloft by the lightning elemental, contained lightning elemental, of course, as well as a fire elemental who moves the carriage forward. If we do end up losing containment, it's going to be quite messy, and will probably be delayed by a week, maybe a week and a half."
Which one do you need
Absolutely not.
contained?
Sorry, what did you say, Dusty?
Which one do you need contained? I can hold one.
The fire elemental.
He
Pudding? He holds
There.
up his flask and then pauses, saying, like, does the method matter?
If as long as the fire elemental is contained and intact, I think we
Then
will be
it
fine
sh-
with most methods that you're able to perform safely, at least.
Then this shouldn't be a problem. Keep an open mind, though. As he
Very well.
shakes the flask and lets out fire pudding.
Everybody backs away quite rapidly.
This is my friend. He is pudding. He can hold a fire elemental.
And that thing is tame.
Yes, he listens to me. Pudding, jump.
How much does pudding weigh?
Actually,
enough.
but I bet like he'd just at least just reach up and then blop back down.
He leaves the ground with a wet slurp.
He doesn't actually get any airtime at all. He just kind of
He
narrows a little bit.
He just stretches upward and then returns.
Very sort of half-ass jump.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
jump up and flick Dusty on the back of the head. Stop showing off.
He wanted to know. It listens to orders. That's good enough, right?
I suppose. Oh, good lord.
And Zerth just passed the guy on the shoulder. The Cayman's got it.
Okay, let's have at it then.
Right. The locomotive actual chamber is quite inhospitable with the fire elemental being so temperamental.
Well, I have a fire creature that will engulf it without putting it out. Once that happens, we can start dealing with that.
I can talk to it.
Perfect. Well, I'll assume that you at least know how to deal with elementals a little bit.
You said there's also a lightning elemental?
Yes, but we have that one quite under control. As long as you don't jostle anything around too much, it should stay contained. We have a few spell rights working, and it should stay contained.
Okay. Alright, we go encounter the fire elemental.
All right. So,
I'm only gonna
opening.
basically my opening statement to the elemental is I'm only going to say this once before my boy sicks his gelatinous cube on you. Heal.
Listen. Okay. Going to open the door, and you're going to go in, and I'm going to stay a far distance back because I don't know how that thing is going to fit through the door.
Dova, I think she was talking to the fire elemental.
Yeah, I was gonna say
okay.
that was my opening statement to the fire elemental.
I thought that was towards the guy, and I was like,
Oh no, that's
Oh no! If he was in the way,
I'm
I just
sitting
throw him
here
down
like-
the carriage.
Like,
I'm
wait a
sitting
minute.
here like, why is Dova saying this?
I'll even roll intimidation if you want me to.
So, as the door opens into the little kind of flexible section leading from the tender car into the actual locomotive, which, by the way, is you can see from the inside the window leading in is has a little bit of char around the edges, but the door opens in front of you and you see a kind of faintly tubular interior section with just lines and lines of various arcane runes covering the interior walls. Large tubes, pipes, and conduits string throughout the walls, as well as kind of spider webbing together into the middle of the room, where half contained, half kind of escaping out of the harness in the middle is a rather enraged and chaotic looking fire elemental. As it sees you enter, it lets out a crackling laugh, saying quite angrily, "Looks like more tinder. Come then, fuel my fire."
Fire elementals are
He
so
is.
arrogant.
He is on.
They definitely have a. They definitely have a type, huh?
As you're kind of struggling in the back to get, which, by the way, roll in initiative
I just did.
just for a turn order. That's intimidation.
It counts, right?
Ooh!
Oh damn!
I would like to at least know what you're doing for your intimidation. Oops.
I actually rolled really good for once.
Yeah.
That like never happens.
Oh, the fire elemental rolled good too. I need a initiative check from DeSoda, Sinnel, and Yark. By the way, did you ever rebuild Gar?
Yes, it's pretty easy.
Okay,
As long as I have all the pieces.
Gotcha. Did you actually make a character sheet for him?
Maybe. Let's just say I left him in. Oh, you know what?
His dog ate it.
I left it. I had him watch over the abalone in storage.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I assume I haven't had a quote unquote long rest between casting those spells and now, right?
No, that happened like an hour ago.
Okay, I just want to keep track of what I'm at.
Got you.
Because spell point management is key to success.
Very true. So, what's the intimidating action, by the way?
This statement, I'm only gonna say it once. Heal. I've eaten bigger than you.
She has.
It was horrifying.
And a 26. Ooh. I forget what that's wisdom. He lets out a faint kind of nervous laugh. What do you mean? You can't eat fire. It'll just burn you from the inside.
Want to bet?
I like how he's just kind of oblivious. Like, you can't eat fire. It's hot.
He doesn't seem to be approaching you. He does seem to be he seems to be pausing at the moment.
Okay, Dusty,
Not sure
now.
what to do.
Okay. Maybe I can't eat fire. But he can. Go, Pudding.
Specifically because DeSoto goes first. Does he do anything?
Do not throw
no,
DeSoto into a fire.
DeSoto's going to be sitting this fight out.
All right.
Because while it's great he's got raged attack, it's a fire one.
Dusty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're basically just ordering him to just go in there.
Yes. Get him.
All right.
Eat him.
Sinnel.
Fire Pudding. Fire Pudding. Fire.
So is Fire Pudding in the middle in the way right now, or no?
He's currently trying to squeeze through the door, but he has a target now, and with his acceleration, he's becoming narrower and narrower.
Okay.
The thing seems to be
To rephrase,
like cowering away from me.
Mm-mm.
can I shoot the thing?
I believe we were supposed to get it intact.
Mostly intact, I would believe he said.
Fair enough. Go ahead and make a roll to attack.
It's like
I'm assuming
Pokemon,
with an
isn't
arrow?
it? No, my
I hope
load
you
bow.
shoot it with a wooden arrow.
Ooh.
I believe we were also asked not to jostle things. I hope you didn't hit the Thunder Elementals container.
That's what I'm rolling right now.
Just
Dang
had
it,
to
Dusty.
remind the DM.
No, he was already doing it. I just reminded you.
No, I figured.
As the weird kind of flame-like flickering nature of the fire elemental, along with all the heat waves, as well as Pudding currently jostling past you, causes your shot to go wide, kind of reflecting off of some of the pure heat generated by the fire elemental, and embedding itself into one of the larger conduits near the front. You hear a very substantial thud and a faint hiss noise. There's a brief kind of a very faint sort of rattle before there's a sound of metal shearing as the arrow gets sucked into the conduit that it just hit, rattling around for a moment before getting shot out somewhere off to the side. The fire elemental is going to think for a moment.
Look, an escape. Except probably put itself out trying to go through such a narrow hole with such high wind pressure.
It's going to go for it.
Oh dear.
All right, so as it's trying to escape, Zerth and Pudding will both have. Actually, I think only Pudding would be able to do this, as Pudding is going to try to bolt forward and catch it before it manages to get through. As it's going to kind of clamber up and swirl around the harness, getting at least a little part of it into that rushing vacuum. Trying to get itself sucked out. Bada bing.
Remember to use your martial arts, Pudding.
A fist comes out and just punches the elemental.
Pudding
So-
cast fist.
Use your stunning strike, Pudding.
Pudding actually manages to catch him. The pseudopod sort of structure grabbing around one of the fire elemental's wrists, and sort of pulling on it for a moment before, with a tremendous
vibrating, resounding sort of schlorp. The fire elemental and pudding are both sucked through the vacuum.
Oh no.
But,
The vacuum is outside the train, I'm guessing.
Presumably.
Uh,
As the whole room kind of resonates and vibrates as they pass through the gigantic pipes. There's like shakes and shimmies throughout the ceiling and through the floor. Before there's a very very distinct kind of thump as the train rocks a little bit to the side as both of them are launched out at the side.
The side of the train?
The inside is distressingly dark.
Dova, I know.
Yeah?
I don't. Whose turn is it?
It would technically be Zerth's.
I didn't have a chance to do anything before they got sucked out, did I?
No.
Son of a...
I was gonna try to catch him with my telekinesis.
No, I had a move that could save both, but I can't.
So we're technically out of initiative right now.
Ah,
Well, that went really bad, really fast. So they're both out. They're both outside of the train. Give me a sec. I have an idea.
Logically,
well,
it is dark out, and the fire elemental glows pretty dang well. So,
can I get to the top of the train?
sure.
Oh my goodness.
After barging your way back out, some of the engineers looking inside just with a look of almost horror, as there is in fact no fire elemental, and some of them even saw the fire elemental get launched out the side, looking much more heavy and corporeal than before.
It's all the
Why
fur coat's fault.
did you shoot an arrow at something we were trying to capture in a very delicate room?
I figured it would be helpful to weaken it.
No.
You hear a shout
hell
go
else
out.
am I supposed
just
to do?
saying, "Stop the train! Stop! Stop! Stop!" As the train shudders beneath you, whatever sort of limited ability they have to stop the train currently being used to the fullest.
Oh, I had more bonus actions. I didn't know that. Amazing what you can find when you're trying to figure something out. Okay, I'm gonna get on top of the train. Try to get the hell out. I'm gonna.
All right, just climb up. There's a small ladder you can kind of climb up. That kind of leads up to the walkway around the actual engine itself.
Have we stopped moving?
Slowly, you're slowing down. It'll take about maybe a minute and a half for you to fully stop.
How far away are they?
Give me a perception check with advantage. It is night out and they are glowing.
Ah, I see it's now under siege 2, dark territory.
Oh, I see that one. It takes you a little while to spot them, but they're about 500 feet away in some of the underbrush. Rapidly moving towards what looked to be a small hill and a little bit of darkness that you can see that's a little bit more advanced darkness than the rest. Possibly a cave.
Advanced darkness.
Advanced darkness and dragons.
Zerth's gonna cast haste on them and haul Gator butt after them.
All right.
Wherever haste is.
Rosalin's gonna jump out the window and follow.
All right. Are you looking for a window that is open?
Yeah, I said there'd be like an engineer's window, you know, the type that they usually open to grab signal. I don't know how much they use like regular locomotives, but they used to pass keys for signal switching through the window.
Yeah. No, there's a window that you can. If it's not already open, you can open. You just as you leap out. Are you going straight onto the ground or?
Yeah, straight onto the ground.
All right, go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. It is about a 30-ish foot drop. Same for you, Zerth.
Said acrobatics.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay.
You get the wind knocked out of you, Rosalin, from the landing, but you keep your footing and keep moving. Same for you, Zerth. You actually take the same amount of damage. You both take 5 points of damage. Rosalin, actually, you would ignore that because you got that fall resistance.
Yep, I have fall resistance.
All right, so you're just gone. I don't think you'd be quite as fast as Zerth. What's your ground speed per round?
45 speed unhasted.
45 speed unhasted, and per round you can bump that up to 90 basically.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I'm at
Zerth,
I'm
50.
the Usain Bolt of squirrels.
50. Alligators moving faster.
I have,
He has
Also,
magical assistance, of course. And
That's very true. Yark, Dusty, and Sinnoh, what about you?
I guess Sinnoh will
Dusty
go.
wants to go, but they might get mad if he pushes himself too hard because he doesn't know the full extent of his recovery.
I'm not sure what
He's
Sinnoh's
also-
gonna do, but he's
Sorry.
gonna go.
He might also still have some anemia.
Very nice, very nice. You would not take damage. Rolling as you hit the ground and continuing on. Would this soda come with you?
Oh, hey, Dova.
Oh, DeSoda's still sitting this out.
Okay.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
As Sinnoh jumps out the window, there's something I want to do.
Okay.
Really
Trip
quickly,
him up.
without him paying attention, I'm going to
Or a tiny machine
Essentially-
that looks like a tick on him.
essentially I'm going to strap what looks like a jetpack on his back.
Boy.
Except it doesn't use fire; it uses like hovering.
It's like a force pack.
Exactly. And by doing this, I'm going to cast Fly on him.
All right. Sinnoh, you feel a strange, uncomfortable claw grip you in the back. As you feel as though you're wearing a not really bulky, but unfamiliar sort of metal backpack. And as you hear a grunt from Yark as he finishes attaching it, you feel your feet lift off the ground slightly.
And this is like as he's jumping out the window.
Or your feet barely touch the ground, actually, as you're almost lifted up by the claw, sort of stretching around your chest.
The hell is this?
It makes you fly, I say, as I try to push him out the window.
Oh. I guess I will attempt to fly.
All right. Clumsy at
It is-
first, but it works.
It's a fly speed of 60 feet.
Woo.
Yeah, he's zooming.
He's actually the fastest. So, by order, Yark, would you be going?
Nah, that was my action.
All right. So Zerth, Sinnoh, and Rosalin, by virtue of who's actually going fastest and just the order of which you ran out, Zerth and Sinnoh would probably get there at about the same time, with Rosalin close behind.
Flying Martin and a haste gator.
It's a flying Martin.
As you would see, putting about 60 feet away from a large sinkhole, the fire elemental kind of writhing angrily inside its sort of jelly fireproof mass, sort of pulling it with whatever unknown sort of thrust force it has. Hiccup.
Cool.
How are you gonna stop it?
Well, I can cast banishment on both of them, and that will stop it.
To let them sort it out.
Yeah, but then that would send the.
They
I'm pretty sure the fire elemental would be gone for good.
they reappear.
Oh no,
No.
because the fire elemental's not a part of this plane.
Yeah.
So if you cast banishment on something that isn't on its home plane, it just goes to its home plane and stays there.
Otherwise,
It would go back to the elemental plane of fire.
There we go. Okay, well that's not gonna happen.
Also, don't use banishment on me ever.
We don't know where she'll end up.
Yeah, unless somehow this is my plane now because of that thing with Fractal Clash. I have no idea, but still, that spell is forbidden.
Yes, Your Highness.
So says your goddess. Hold on. Since he's a cleric and he gets his magic from you, you can just like not allow him to cast banishment just innately.
I don't know if that's how it works, but
I don't know. Maybe. I thought it was a funny thought though.
So can I? Okay, DM rolling here.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use destructive wave to hit the ground and create like a stopping wall that they're gonna hit instead of going into that hole?
Yeah, I'd say you could.
Okay, I will do that at whatever level I need to cast it at.
All right. There's the sort of base level, I'd say.
All right.
Sort of like almost like an earthbender, just raise up a giant wall.
Yep.
All right. Rosalin, what about you?
I stopped him from moving.
It's a chase scene. He's running away. Don't make me start a timer.
yeah, I know. It's just tricky of things to do.
I get you.
Because like the most useful thing I could do is cast Shatter on it, and I don't know what that would do to Pudding.
Hey! The boost has
Jiggle
been
a lot.
completed!
Nice.
Well, hey. How does
Okay.
that work?
Well, now the stream is being put in front of 2,800 people.
Oh,
So, does that mean we could go like a hour longer tonight, or?
maybe we'll
I would
find out.
prefer that, yes. I just realized the time.
Yeah, screw it. I'm going to cast Shatter focused on it.
All right. And that is a
I'm gonna
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I'm gonna point the Iron Fang at it, and it has to beat DC 17.
17. All right. Well, Pudding rolled a 13. It's got a +5. What the frick? All right, they both failed.
Okay. That would be 3d8 thunder damage, I believe. Yep, 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save.
Oh god.
Awesome, Martin.
There it is. There's the game breaking.
Oh news!
As both Pudding and the fire elemental just jiggle and wiggle violently with the shattering.
Oh, hold on a second. I need to check something.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
What?
Thought you might like that influence.
I do like that one.
But yeah, I'll basically do that and then command it to halt.
So, Toshime, with that one, it wouldn't be an immediate change. However, it would change things. Not, I guess how the storyline might play out. So you probably wouldn't see it this session. If you'd be all right with that, but I like it.
Oh dear.
What has become of us?
This is a game breaking, so it can change the course of the game.
That's fine. All right. Alrighty, Rooney. accepted as the tapestry of fate has been rewound. I gotta put that in my notes.
Well, I'm not gonna sleep good tonight.
Okay. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Does the I just about pressed
No,
the X
just
button. Sorry? Uh-oh.
sorry, I was responding to chat.
What happened?
Good question.
Yeah,
So
I'm
the,
kind of really worried.
don't be. The due to all of that in combination with the wall in front of it, it seems to be stunned for the moment, for the time being. Unable to decide whether to go around, above, and that combined with them just being kind of tied together just makes it awkward, and then they don't really get any headway. Sinel, be up to you. What you doing? Also, I think I'm gonna take a peek outside my window because I think somebody is doing the driveway without me, and I like
How
using
dare.
a snowblower.
I
That they are. Oh, that's a hearty amount of snow. Heck yeah.
I'm looking through my inventory and stuff for anything. Oh, when did I get this lantern of revealing? I have so
I
many
think it
stuff
was-
I have bought.
Ages ago, I remember you actually talking about that.
Yeah. Just never used it.
We used it. We used it in the cave. Remember the cave where you got your slime bottle that you imbibed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got a folding saw, hunting knives.
What you gonna use though? We don't have a whole lot of time left.
That's very true. That dude got work in the morning.
I'm aware. I'm just trying to think of what I could possibly... You know what? Fudge it. I'm
You know what
pulling out
happened
a
last time you
treat.
said that?
I'm pulling out a treat. I'm gonna try a animal handling on this bastard. Ooh.
Which one?
The
Pudding or the fire elemental?
the fire elemental.
It seems a bit smarter than an animal.
I don't care.
But you can go
It's
ahead
what
and
I've
try.
got.
It's not an arrow that will make things significantly worse.
At least it's a really
You can-
damn good roll.
For a brief moment, you can hear his voice kind of gurgle angrily beneath the surface as it pokes its head out, seemingly just to answer for the fact that you just tried to offer it a dog treat.
You want to?
Ooh, that looks good.
It is good. I've got plenty. You just gotta come back with us.
Do you toss it to him?
Yeah.
They're
And
very
then pull out
flammable.
another and
manages to catch it, and it does burn pretty dang well. It's like a Frito.
and I'm gonna pull out another one. We got more. Come on, just come back with us. Do what you gotta do here, and I
He
will.
did get a 33.
I will give
did.
you plenty.
All right.
But you gotta promise to
Would they-
come and do what you gotta do.
The cave does look very cold and non-flammable. I'll come with you. I'll come back to the fucking tank.
Hey, at least it's nice and... What the hell is going on here?
Good question. What is going on?
No, I didn't hit a button. For some reason, all of my windows are randomly popping in and like my main monitor is freaking out.
Uh-oh.
Did you have put in like a test mode?
No. I can't do anything on my main monitor. Or my... Okay. One sec.
Well, anyway.
As you start to lead it back, after a while, you guys notice that Pudding, along with the fire elemental inside, is slowly, treat by treat, being walked back to the the lightning rail.
Nice.
Okay.
Sinnoh flying, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least you fixed your mistake.
You are
Pudding get one.
Pudding manages to intercept quite a few, actually.
Which only once increases his desire for more. Like, hey, that was mine.
Yeah, my computer is completely freaking out on me.
Ooh.
That sucks.
Well, the stream is going just fine.
Yeah, it's just like my roommates can vouch. It's flipping through every window on my screen repeatedly, very quickly.
Are you sure you're not holding down Tab and Alt?
I haven't. It started, and I hadn't even touched my keyboard. Yeah, apparently the
keyboard.
Apparently the that's a good idea. I'm gonna try unplugging the keyboard. I wasn't even touching it when this started. Okay, I unplugged the keyboard, and now it's only going through a couple.
Is there a controller plugged in?
I don't have a controller.
Boy, that seems like a restart sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is going to be difficult.
I won't be able to...
You're getting hacked.
Honestly, I'm a little worried about that being the case.
It seems like a pretty lame hack, though.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Can you, all of you on the stream, actually still see the stream?
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I just got a network error on my preview, but that happens sometimes.
At least it's still going for me now, so.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Good luck, Zerth. Zim. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, continuing on.
I mean, it is kind of stuttering quite a bit. We're still going. So, finally, through a little bit of pushing and prodding of Pudding, you managed to squeeze him back into the train, back into the engine room itself.
After they fix that hole, of course.
Mm-hmm. Which I imagine, Yark, go ahead and give me a... Actually, you have mending, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy peasy. You managed to fix the hole in the conduit that the arrow broke. But as you head back in, Dusty, go ahead and give me an animal handling check. Dusty? Oh, there you go.
There, Pudding.
All right. You managed to get Pudding to separate, even after he tried to continue going after Sinnel for some more treats. You finally manage to get him off to let him release the fire elemental, who is now re-trapped and sort of harnessed up to the lightning rail. He just angrily growls at you, saying, "Now leave me be. I've got
Gives-
business to do."
Gives him another treat.
Oh,
Oh yes, I will
you
give
won't
him.
want to be in here when I really start working.
I can't wait to see you do a fantastic job. Here you go.
Here,
Ooh.
the bad mood is gone for a
Right,
moment.
Rosalin
the
just
way
put
these
a
are
pair of aviators on from nowhere.
These are my favorite fire elementals.
Just really, I just
The-
want to burn it.
they're like sentient dogs with their attention span.
I just want to burn shit. So, as you guys exit from the room rapidly getting about 20 to 30 degrees hotter in the span of a few seconds. The locomotive thrums to life as the people in the control room and the handler car start to work the controls and get power flowing back into the propulsion ring. Basically, at least a little bit of the elemental that's constrained in a tight ring that provides propulsion.
Cool. Glad that wasted our time.
As the locomotive kind of clanks and rumbles off. We haven't died 9 times this campaign. Have you?
Not dead, but I went down 7 times to Sigma. I actually died 1 time to him, and then I died again previously.
I got my work cut out
So
of
yeah,
my party
it's
dealer.
about 9 times.
Fair enough.
Oh God. Now is it like explained by the force that marks my soul for battle? Yeah, it's me. That's the reason why I don't die. I just get back up again because I'm like, I still have work to do. Shit.
You give yourself a pep talk.
So as everything starts to settle back down, and as the train kind of heads on, the guy who talked to you before, who seems to be an engineer but much more well dressed, says, "You can call me Score, by the way. I'm the head engineer, and I just want to thank you. Are you
It was-
do you travel on the lightning rail often?"
Yes,
Kinda,
actually.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose it's fair. I've got a handful of free passes that I'd like to give out to y'all.
Yes.
Sweet.
Now,
First class, right?
I wish I could say that.
Well, still.
But with this card, it's a lot cheaper to upgrade, and I don't have the authority, nor I don't think they even make cards for that. But it'll let you ride on the rails in steerage class for free, and anything above that at about 1/5 of the price.
Nice. Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
Quick question that has absolutely nothing to do with anything coming up, I promise. Why is the Silver Lake silver?
Great question. Probably got a lot of silver in it.
Alright, cool. Are the fish from there edible?
Very, I'd say.
They're delicious, I'm guessing?
As are many fish.
Got it. Cool.
Prepared right, it'll go really well.
I could, in fact, tell you if we were close to it. I could, in fact, tell you if there was silver in the lake.
A bit
I'm
far away
sorry,
for that.
Wolfab, but I'm not going to be able to do the Stream Raiders right now.
Yeah, his, everything's kind of breaking.
It just can't handle.
Mhm. As the train continues, by the way, go ahead and add a lightning rail passes to your inventory.
Already done.
Could you do that to mine, please?
Sure.
Louise,
Oh,
hey
Marcella.
there. Thank you very much for coming by. Normally I'd
Damn, I
stick
should've asked
to chat for that, but you know, my everything is weird right now.
I should ask the fire elemental if it wanted a different employer.
It could have been your first celestial follower.
Yeah, damn.
You missed out on
Celeste?
it. Or,
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Planar ally will still summon myself.
No, I'll just get it acquainted with you. You like fireballs, it likes fireballs, you'll get on like a house on fire.
Wait a minute. What about our werecat?
You mean the were-tiger?
Yeah, that.
What about him?
Isn't he under your employment?
Under my paid employment, and he's not an outsider.
He technically is because he lives in the demiplane. Technicalities.
No. It's where I just claimed the demi-plane. It's now my plane.
Okay, I fixed the problem. I decided
Nice.
randomly to disconnect my mouse. Like, I disconnected the keyboard. My mouse has nothing that could have done this, but... Ugh.
Huh. Well, there you go. Problem solved.
Anyways.
So anyway, I just started blasting.
As night passes, you all get a very, very a much needed night of rest. The track's rumbling along beneath you. The next day, however, can I get a perception check from everybody? This is vision based.
Can I just do something first? How do I roll a D3?
Right click on the D6
Yeah.
and then do custom dice. One of them should be a D3.
Is
It's
it
a
perception check?
D0.
Alright, there we go. I got one use to shatter back, which I only used one, so...
Wow.
Yeah, no.
wow, you got zero. You got
I
zero out of
rolled-
D0. I don't know
I
what
did-
to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to. Oof. We are extremely perceptive right now.
I'm
Sir,
not very
it
perceptive.
used to be a morning person.
You haven't gotten your coffee yet, Rosalin. That's why. Dusty, can I get a percent? Oh, never mind. You
I
got
also
one right.
I also slapped
Need
weird
one.
because there's this pointy thing in my back.
It's true. It kind of itches a little bit. Sinel, I need a perception check. Lena, are you okay?
I'm still having some issues.
Gotcha. I'll do it for you then.
Thank you.
Excuse. Perception. Okay. So, and you rolled pretty bad. Yark and Zerth. As the morning comes, you're kind of looking slightly behind the train. sitting there and relaxing as the train sort of slowly comes awake. It never really stopped moving, but some of the room services kind of moving along. Some of the various attendants are taking care of things, and far beyond, in a little gap between the trees, you see a very familiar, slender, graceful airship. Now
Oz is
comes
still
your
following
turn.
us.
That it is.
I looked at Yark drinking like coffee. I think they get tired of this at this point.
Wait. Hold on. Is this the airship that has robbed us? Tried to rob the train every single time we ride the train?
No.
Oh.
This is Sigma's airship.
The other one would have been funny too.
So I just said in Twitch chat, I said, while some gods and goddesses want like your firstborn or wolf as an offering, Rosalin just wants coffee.
Don't try to invoke my divine power before my morning coffee.
Yeah, no divine power before 9 a.m.
It's carved into one of your stone tablets at your temple.
Double espresso for a blessing.
It's under local time.
Triple espresso for a miracle or a resurrection.
Frappe gets guidance for an hour.
How far away is this airship?
Barely within visible range.
Okay, so that's not gonna work.
Are you alerting any of this?
It's been a while since you've scryed on it.
I'm gonna do that.
Way.
Hey.
You're doing
What
the
were you
thing.
scrying on?
I do the thing. Do my clerical thing.
All right. Are you scrying on Blue, or are you scrying on Sigma? You technically have one of his body parts.
I do. I made a point of taking that.
Dusty does.
He's talking about the
we
prosthetic
still
arm.
we still have Blue's arm as well.
Let's do Sigma itself.
Sigma?
I'm gonna wash my face in a ball of water and then I'm gonna pass it to Zerth. Eat something to scry in.
And now it's blessed by his patron.
Well, hey. Gazing into it.
Wait, what?
Huh?
I said now it's blessed by his patron.
Oh.
And Dusty commented, "There's some hair in there."
That's the curse of living with fur. You're just always shedding, just a little bit. So as you stare into it, your vision kind of passing through the surface and into the reflective sort of ripples. You find yourself in that same ostentatious decorated room. For a brief moment, you see nothing before you see a very familiar shape, slightly asymmetric. The right arm clearly not quite there beneath the large sort of general's cape. You can see him kind of standing in front of a window for a few moments before taking a step to the side and slightly kind of pacing side to side in front of a large segmented glass window that seems to give a nice view of the landscape beneath. You can't really make out whether or not he's staring at the train or not, but the landscape looks similar to the one that you're going through. Looks to be in perhaps the bridge, with a handful of undead soldiers handling various tasks revolving around piloting and coordinating the airship itself. After a few moments, you see a little You see him kind of bring his hand up in front of him as one of his rings is currently glowing. He looks up, looks to the side, before very quietly speaking. I know you're watching. You've managed to delay my plans twice now. There will not be a third time.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I just want to cook this dang abalone.
Do you have any salt, sir? Do you?
He stays silent for a few moments.
Of course, he can't hear us.
Yeah, no, he can't hear you at all.
He says, "If you're talking, I
You're
can't
like
understand."
you're like trying to talk to the TV at like an actor. It's like they can't hear you.
No, I'm just making very wild gestures with my thumb at my throat and pointing at him. I'm sure he'll get the hint eventually.
Mm-hmm. He's fairly quiet for a few moments before saying, "It's unfortunate that fate seems to have tied our destinies together. Pure
Boy, it
bad
must be what's-
happenstance that we're always heading towards the same spots, always meeting each other. I've learned from my mistakes dealing with you. This time there will be no ritual site. There will be no single entity that harbingers the great trial of the world. There will simply be a moment of blinding brightness before we entrust the world to the next generation.
Damn, he's got nukes.
And with that, he is going to reach over to one of his other rings, sort of rubbing his finger on it, and you can actually see kind of sprouting from beneath the empty space where his right arm would be, is a very similar looking sort of crystalline prosthetic arm, except the crystals are made out of what look to be almost obsidian.
Now his crystals are dark. That means he's a bad guy.
I mean, he was a bad guy before.
Well, yeah, but
He
now
presses-
he's
as he-
clearly a bad guy.
As he
Well,
presses
he
on
is
the
a bad guy that took us on his airship
Hey!
once.
Hey! Shush. Sorry. As he presses on the rune on the ring that's currently glowing, clearly alerting him to the scrying. As he does so, Zerth, you feel your connection kind of slip for a moment. He says very quietly, "Toodaloo," before your connection disappears.
That was rude.
Ha! You made him have to waste a magic artifact to get rid of you.
I know I'm very good at that. He's happy thumps his tail.
Also, what did he mean a second time?
Apparently we're 2 for 3 with his plans. I say we do a clean sweep, even though we don't exactly know what the hell
Dusty
we're doing.
raised his arm and said, "This was the first time, and I think messing with Rack was the second."
They keep escalating too. We should be wary about number 3.
And
So
here
you
I thought that thing and the thing we saw destroying the city weren't the same. They were just like 2 avatars, but I guess not.
Still
I don't know.
connected.
At this point, I feel like we're just going to keep interfering with his plans, even if we don't try to. Like, I guess we did a second time, and I'm just trying to get to my I'm trying to get to my special fancy food event.
Care about
You
your
want
future,
you
right?
watch you cook the abalone, and it turns out that it's the ingredient we needed to stave off the world being poisoned. But
No.
Done it
It,
again, rah!
No.
it was the
No,
final
my
piece
plan.
he needed. It was the final piece he needed for his ritual to
Giant
destroy the planet.
abalone.
And Yark ate it.
Who knows? Both of these
For
times.
the third time, you foiled my plans. Dude,
There-
stop
this
making
is-
this plan so easy to foil.
He's just doing his own thing in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden everything starts breaking. It's like, wait, did somebody in the world eat an abalone?
Did somebody eat that abalone I tried the spell to? And place an aboleth to guard it?
It's phylactery, actually.
He just crumbles into dust as all these fancy people are eating the abalone.
Anyways, I think that's gonna be the end of this session because I have work
It's like
tomorrow,
that.
and I'm
It's like
tired.
that one villain that inadvertently keeps helping people by doing evil schemes.
Oh, Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah.
There's a theory that Dr. Doofenshmirtz used to be a member of the good guys. I can't remember what their acronym is.
Good guys. G-O-O-D.
Yeah.
God.
But because his inventions were amazing and they always worked, except he always ended up messing stuff up. So they let him be a bad guy instead, and just take his inventions. Sorry, that was random. the Attack on Titan. Sorry, that was a strange thing to
I don't believe
say.
that's actually a theory, as I'm pretty sure they actually put that in the show.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen every episode, but that would make sense.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's definitely just a theory.
I seem to
Game
recall.
theory.
I seem to recall Perry having like a camera in his hat that lets him.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Correct.
All right,
Anyway.
everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. I will be back tomorrow with more
More goodbye.
streaming. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things there on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of you guys that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I seriously cannot do it without you. I am streaming full-time now, so your support is very important to make sure I can continue doing so. Please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming to make sure that these streams keep on coming, as well as I can bring back some of the old servers and stuff that we used to have. But anyways, for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Goodbye. Have a good day.
Have a good night, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Bye,
Happy New Year.
everyone.
Angry goodbye noises.
Bye-bye! Ha-ha.
God damn it.